bonus.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Innova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the Drive, baby!
The Drive Guys, Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's drive time with the Drive Guys.
Yeah, Alan Stiles is back. The Kings won last night, but before we get any further, I mentioned a surprise college basketball expert going to join us. Maybe it's not a surprise. I don't know. I believe, Alan, in your little bracket contest here at the station, I believe your number one placeholder currently, isn't it Jay? Isn't Jay
I
up here
got to check.
I heard on the morning show a lot of talk about.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I heard on. I don't have access to it.
Is it me?
Yes.
I had no clue.
Yeah. It's you and then I think Mark Baranek, a former AE here, who I knew way back when, were 1-2, according to what was said on the morning show. Is that not accurate?
I'm looking here.
Yeah.
Jay
I had no clue.
is currently 8th.
8th.
Well, he's 8th, but it's the whole possible, right? Like there are people in front of him, but they have Florida.
Okay.
So,
all right.
in reality.
Well, you're doing very well. He's doing well,
Hey, well,
right?
thank you.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Luck of the draw there, big fella.
I don't know about that. Being a little too modest, aren't you?
Well, that's what you do when you take UT.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I started to take them all the way and was like, that's stupid.
How far do you have them?
I think to next round.
Oh, okay.
I think I got them slipping through here.
Yeah. I know Jay goes to great lengths to bring in all these experts, and we talk to these people, and that people. And then Jay's the one who knows the most about it all along.
That's right.
How about that, Alan?
Yeah, Jay is technically in 6th place, technically. But
Check
he's right
me out.
there. Oh, you know what it is, Jay? You have the highest possible. That's what it is.
Oh,
So you
I
have
see.
180. Nobody else besides one other person has 180. So you have the most possible points left.
I see.
That's
Come on,
what it
baby.
is.
There you go.
That's what it is,
Look
Jay.
at that. So I didn't even know, really. He knows.
No, seriously, I didn't know.
I understand.
And Jay, you took
I'm just giving
Michigan
you credit.
too? Oh, I'm done.
I didn't.
I'm done.
I haven't. I was super busy this weekend. Worked both Saturday and Sunday. Got home literally like at 7:30, 8 o'clock both days. So I haven't looked at no emails.
Yeah. I just heard them mention your name this morning. So way to go, Alan Stiles. On the other hand, I know you must have had a great weekend. I don't know how you're doing in the bracket.
We're surviving.
Oh,
We're
okay.
surviving.
Survive and
but
advance. That's what it's all about.
But that's the problem. I got Jay, who's in my way, and he has. The good thing is, though, Jay has Houston going to the championship game.
Yeah.
I have Duke. So it's going to come down. There's a lot going down this weekend.
Yeah.
Come on, Fleming.
It's a big weekend. If Kingston Flemings trolls me this weekend, goes off for 30, and I got to go home with nothing, I'm going to be very upset.
Do you have both your purple Kings Nikes on the A-Cuff bandwagon? Because he's really popular around here these days.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that he was going to be a fast riser just in general because of how Arkansas plays, but I was a bit surprised when I saw what Matt say earlier, just because of everything we've been talking about with the defense. So the fact that, the Kings, I guess, according to Matt, are big on A-Cuff, it makes me think a couple things, but the number one thing is what we talked about last week, that they feel as if there might be an effort conversation going on there. This is my interpretation of it, that there's just an effort conversation, and even though he might not ever be a lockdown defender, they feel as if we can get him there. He's not there yet, but we can get him there.
I was exchanging some texts with Coach Reynolds today, and he's very high on A-Cuff. And I told him I think he could be a very, very bad defender. He said, oh, he is, but you can learn that.
Yes.
He said Kyrie was too.
Right.
And he also said you can teach defense. It's easier to teach someone how to play defense than it is to be a leader. So
Yeah. Also,
kind of a side swipe at the guy that I've been in favor of.
Well, that's also true. But the thing is, too, it's the shooting, right? And I mean, all these guys on any level, when you're talking about the NBA or college, whatever, you need shooters, Whitey. And if you have that already figured out, then you're miles ahead of everybody else. So I think that it's funny that the shot making for Acuff is kind of put on a pedestal, but now everybody's done with Darren Peterson, even though we know he is also a shot maker. So it's just whatever you're into right now, it feels like there are multiple versions of that shot maker type of player. And the Kings seem to, at least, according to Matt, they like Acuff.
Alan, on Friday, Jay and I were going, and we got a lot of calls on it, actually. We were talking about the Kings and the whole Nets thing. And I was saying, look, the Nets right now are one of those teams that they're really, really set up to tank. The Kings, we said this Friday, most people agreed. There was a little bit of pushback, but we said, look, given where it all is right now, if you're the Kings, you can't lower yourself to that level. You're going to be home, and you've just got a better team than them.
Yeah.
And they did, rust in play. But it was a game that was there for them to win, and they really couldn't afford to stoop to the level they would have had to stoop to in order to have a chance to lose that game. So,
no. I mean,
that's just where it is.
No, there's just no way. And you saw, DeMar played 32 minutes, but he only took, 7 shots. So, they let everybody eat. They let everybody kind of get in where they fit in. Malik Monk with 32 points, but they're just a better team.
Yeah.
But that's the type of game that I don't know if anybody should have looked at that game as a possible loss.
Right. That's kind of how we went into it on Friday.
Yeah.
Yes. The Nets right now are kind of they've got some promising to semi-promising rookies, and then they're like, to borrow a baseball term, like a 4A team.
Yeah.
Some guys that are kind of, they're better in G League, but they're not necessarily really NBA players. So
yeah,
what are you going to do? You got those teams ahead of you right now, the Wizards and the Pacers and the Nets, and they're just better set up to lose these games, and you just kind of have to roll with that.
Yeah, and again, it's starting to shift a little bit, Whitey, where you almost feel as if, man, maybe the Kings deep down feel we're just lucky to be in this position, because if we didn't have all these injuries, we could have won however many more games, right? 7 to 10 more games, and then unless you get some Dallas Mavericks type help like they did last year, you wouldn't even be in this conversation. So I do feel like the closer we get to the draft and the closer we get to the draft lottery, it's almost as if the Kings are just happy to be in this situation, and they don't want to kind of dive into it even more like some of these other teams, because some of these other teams were supposed to be here. The Wizards, the Nets. I think the Kings think we're not even supposed to be here.
And as you were saying in the crossover, it appears the Kings look at the odds right now, and they look at who's available, and they look at where they might be picking, and they're pretty good with wherever they're going to end up.
Yeah. Again, the Domantas Sabonis injury, the Keegan Murray injury, they never even played together. I know that we saw kind of Vivek bringing that up too, that this team was never healthy. I think they just look at it and say, we're here now, but we're not going to stoop any lower just for possible odds. And there is something admirable about it. We don't know if they're going to, if they're going to get any basketball karma from it, but it is admirable that we already feel like we skipped the line a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still worried about Utah. Utah 5th in the lottery standings. The Kings are 4th. Utah's pick is 1 through 8 protected.
Yeah.
If Utah's 5th, there's a very slim chance, but a chance they would pick 9th. They would lose the pick. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come at you pretty hard here down the stretch.
Well, and that's the thing. You're searching some of these teams, and you're trying to figure out who in the world are they even putting on the court these days.
Right.
And the Kings aren't in that position. They have compared to the other teams that are out here, the Jazz, they lost by 10 to the Sixers, and you look at who they're putting out there and you think, Whitey, there's no comparison, right? Filipowski,
Yes.
Cody Williams, Elijah Harkless, Yeah, they got Ace Bailey out there, but they're not even running these guys out there every game, it doesn't feel like.
Yeah, and I will say one of the reasons it sets up that way is because of the progress the Kings' young players have made.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get it, go overboard about Maxime Reynaud, but he does look like he's definitely on track to be all rookie, maybe all rookie first team. So right now, yeah, you're playing some rookies, but he is better than most, if just about all of the rookies that the Kings are facing on some of these bad teams.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about possibly the steal of the draft going up against guys.
It is a steal of the draft.
No, you know he is. going up against guys that even if they were drafted ahead of him or not, even second-year guys, I would say.
Yeah.
There are even some second-year guys where you're watching Maxime Reynaud play and you're getting to compare them one-to-one, and you like what you're seeing from the rookie.
Mm-hmm. Here's the question from the 209. This is a Stockton area. Mm-hmm. Why not lower ourselves to the other tankers' level? All caps. We need to lose. I just don't think it's worth it. You speak a lot of truth there, but the level you'd have to stoop to get to that level, I don't think, all things considered, it'd be worth it.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Like we said, that game, in my opinion, that's not a game that I'm even counting as a possible win. I mean,
you've been saying that for like
forever,
a week and a half.
Forever. Now it's a matter of, hey, when you go into this Hornets game, which is tomorrow, yeah, let's see how it all plays out. These games that are more surprising to you, like a random Magic game, like when they beat the Clippers last week or a couple weeks ago, those are the games where it can get a little dicey. But they got another game against the Nets, and I'm fully expecting the Kings to win that game again. Where it gets interesting, Whitey, is these teams like the Pelicans, right? That's at the beginning of April. Those teams where, all right, could the Kings win? Yes. How should they approach it? Is it going to be a lot of Killian Hayes? What's it going to be? But games like last night, even to the biggest tanker out there, what did you want them to do?
Hopefully Kill's okay. He got hurt last night.
Yeah,
He
that's
played
right.
12 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah. How was your big weekend, Alan? You
it
must
was a
have
lot of
spent
fun.
a lot of time watching basketball or sometime anyway.
Yes. Yeah, definitely spent a lot of time watching the March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And look, are they your Houston team now because of Kingston? Is that your Houston team, would you say?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Sweet 16 is here. And it's funny how fast it all goes. You're waiting for March Madness, and then you blink, and so much damage gets done that first weekend.
Right.
It's all exciting, and oh my goodness, it's the Sweet 16 already. And then there's another weekend, Elite 8, and then it's almost over already.
We got some great Sweet 16 matchups, though.
I know. And you know who I'm upset about? And I know Kayla is, our resident Nashville aficionado, but I am so upset.
Born and raised.
Every year, I told you I take Tennessee. Every year. The year I don't take Tennessee, now they're cooking. Every single year when they're higher seeds, now this year they want to show up, Whitey. Mm-hmm. It's very frustrating.
I have to tell you, I know Houston's playing Illinois. I'm starting to be more of a Keaton Wagler guy than a Kingston Flemings guy.
What? Why?
But I don't know. I like the size. Mm-hmm. I like the offensive smoothness, but I'm really intrigued by that matchup, Illinois against Houston. That's going to be, 7:05?
Yeah.
On Thursday?
The thing that has always made me, do the rock eyebrow with Kingston is I'm just trying to figure out what separates him. Why the way people talk about him, and because he was the fifth, he's been mocked as the fifth pick for so long. I'm just trying to see it, but it shouldn't be this hard to see. That's what it's always been for me and Kingston Flemings. What is it that he does really well? He can make every shot in the book. We get all that. But when I watch him, I don't gravitate to him. And that's been my issue this whole time.
I know that things are changing here with the players where they're expected to be picked, but 3 of the top 4 going into the draft are already out. I mean, not 3 of the top 4 going into the tournament.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Because you got my guy, Darren Peterson, is out, and Caleb Wilson's out, and so is A.J. DeBonson.
Yep.
So that's unfortunate.
Well, and I guess their stock just kind of sits. Or, I mean, Caleb Wilson, it hasn't moved even though he hasn't played. Darren Peterson, the more he's played.
It went down, didn't it? Don't you
gone
think, honestly, if we're being honest?
Yes.
Stock down.
And don't let some of these guys, like we said, if Kingston Flemings has a great game or Keen Wagler, I don't think it's done. I don't think it's done dropping yet. I don't think he's done with drop zone quite yet. If some of these guys, Sweet 16 weekend, have a good run.
Mm-hmm. The thing that concerned me about Darren Peterson, there seemed to be a disconnect between him and his teammates. And I know after the game, they all said the right thing. Mm-hmm. They all said, he's great. He's our guy. He didn't have the best year, but, he's our guy. He's a great player. But when you watch them play, and maybe it's because he didn't rise to the occasion, some of it's the way he was defended, but there's just this disconnect. And I think the most obvious reflection of that is when you look at, as we have all year, his assist numbers. They're not there. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like he's got the ball sometimes, but then when he doesn't have the ball, they're used to playing without him, and there's just no connection there.
No, I think this was, I don't know, probably a good use case. Obviously, NIL's been around for a couple of years now, but this felt like the most transactional relationship ever with Kansas and Darren Peterson. And I do wonder how Kansas will approach stuff like this moving forward, because clearly whatever they thought was going to work, it didn't work.
Yeah.
It did not work.
Right. Bill Self says, I'll think about it, whether I'm coming back. He's coming back.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can't go out like that. It just was an awkward year the whole time. It's as if there was no, like you said, no relationship that really unfolded between Darren Peterson and the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I know we were all thinking maybe something will click in the tournament, but there was really no reason to think that.
No, and there was just no time. Mm-hmm. You're going up against teams that truly, this is it for us. We're bonded by, the brotherhood, and Kansas just didn't have that. And even when Bill Self said some stuff when Darren Peterson wasn't playing.
I'm sorry. Jay, do you have anything to add? Because we're talking college basketball, and you're the one that knows.
That's right, Jay.
You guys are spot on.
No, that's right, Jay.
Yeah, you're the one that should be talking. Okay, he's good. All right, we're good? We're on track?
Yeah, you're good.
That's right,
Let's
Jay.
see what Alan says, though, here. Because he's already stepped on some things that he's got to be careful about.
What are you talking about?
Going against Tennessee, man. Come on.
What do you mean?
That was the first mistake.
Yeah. Every year, though. Every year I got him going pretty far. Oh, yeah, you got him. Oh, yeah. Oh, dang. Yeah, Jay, that's where yeah.
You were right about the Zags. I'll give you that.
Oh, come on. That's the easiest. Come on, man.
He's there's a 3. I love the 3 seeds, but not them.
Don't start with me with Gonzaga. I will say this. That Kentucky-Santa Clara game, that was on Friday, and before me and my buddy, we took off, we were just hanging out watching at the house, and I'm watching that, and I had Santa Clara. And I'm thinking,
oh, really?
Yes. I'm thinking, I did it.
I
did it, and I didn't do it. That was a crazy game. Just great stuff.
Wait, I was asking Jay about his brackets Friday, and he said, I don't have a bracket. But
he said one. I said I had one.
Oh, you had one.
Got one.
All right, okay.
Yeah, Jay had.
But I don't pay attention to it. I don't go into the point of, because we were having a conversation. I said, I don't really care what my bracket says. I'm still enjoying the game.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're not sitting there watching with the bracket in hand.
Far from.
Thinking, I got to cross
Yeah, I care less about all that. I like the games. I'm going with them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So even still, if you have a big name picked, you still root for the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Even if you had, what was it, the Duke-Siena game?
Well, when you don't have a bracket, you certainly do.
Either way, I do, though.
Uh-huh.
I don't care.
This used to drive my brother crazy. How do you feel about bracket contest at a place of work and people who are entered don't actually work there? I never really had a problem. It used to drive my brother crazy.
I mean, it's just more cheese, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
More competition, too. But
yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I guess if it was already happening, that would be different than starting one.
Yeah.
Right? Because I come in and we have certain brackets that we do here, and they've been going on forever. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to come in and say, hey, why is so-and-so in this? Yeah. But
grandfathered in.
Right. If
people
you were
that maybe used to work here, it's just a nice gesture.
If you were starting something new and it was an office bracket, then keep it in the office.
Gotcha. All right. I was just curious. I've never found anyone else who agrees with my brother on that.
No, I don't know what the issue is. What's the problem?
Speaking of starting something new, is it an exaggeration to say the Kings are building something? I know after the game last night, Malik and Coach Christie talked about, building that culture or laying down the foundation. Can we say that? Or again, is it tough to do that when you're playing against teams that just are not quality teams?
I mean, it's so interesting, and we've talked about this before. If you flipped the season in terms of who the Kings had to play and who they're playing now, because if you had that beginning of the schedule, if you had that right now, how good would we feel about everything, right? If you're playing, what was it? They played the Timberwolves 3 times. They played OKC a couple times, the Nuggets 3 times. How would we feel about it versus playing the Nets? And now even next game they have the Hornets, and I don't think they're going to get their doors blown off. They might not win, but it's still going to be a competitive game. So it's hard to tell, Whitey. I mean, I don't know. We can't flip the season, and they're playing whoever they're playing, and at least we have something positive to take away from it.
Yeah, I think we got a glimpse into the company line. Mr. Ronadive did an interview, and he was just someone's talking to him, and he was nice enough to answer. So I don't want to read too much into it, but we'll probably play it at some point today. He basically said, we just had too many injuries.
Yeah.
If that's true, I mean, it's true they had injuries, but if that's the way the organization is looking at it, that again would suggest that your hybrid rebuild is definitely on the board for next year.
And it is. I keep trying to
tell
tell you.
I think you're right.
I keep trying to tell you. They feel, I mean, again, just my opinion, they feel like they never got a fair shake at this. Now, what is their ceiling? I think they're looking at the Phoenix Suns saying there's no reason why that couldn't have been us this season. And so many teams are going to be in and out, and they're getting older, and they can't stay healthy. I think they feel if we can now add in a top 10 pick to this group, it's just some tweaks here or there. That's that's how it feels like they feel like to me. Just one thing here or there, and we can at least compete. Now, do I think it's championship level, or do I think they believe it's championship level? No, but it's play in the playoff level.
I don't know that I see it this way, but I see how you could make the case that you've assembled a pretty good to good front court. You got some young players there and some variables, so it's hard to know for certain, as it always is. But that's assuming you got Keegan coming back. Maybe you keep Precious Achiuwa. Dylan Cardwell's a player. Maxime Reynaud looks like, wow, he might be a star in the league. Might be. He's certainly playing like it now. So then you look at your backcourt, and you figure, wow, we have a chance to get a lottery pick. There's some good guards available. You could say, look, yeah, we were in a rebuild, but we got a lot accomplished in 1 year.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to make that case. Again, I don't know that I would. I think there's still time to evaluate everything, but I see that argument.
I think the problem here is, do you have your guy, though? I think that's where this is all going to start and stop. Do you have your guy? Because in the West specifically, you need somebody that you can depend on night in, night out from the scoring side of things. And I don't know. That's the one thing that they're missing either way. Now, look, I mean, they could bring back, DeMar and say, hey, well, he's going to be our closer, and we're going to have this and we're going to have that. But I don't know. At the end of the day, if you don't have a top 15 player, then you're just going to have a ceiling.
Well, TC says AJ is still the pick at 1, and if the Kings fall to 5 through 8, Acuff the pick, period. Kings are in a win-win situation.
I don't know if that's win-win.
TC says, yeah, you're good either
I don't
way.
know if that's win-win.
Good either way. Well, if what Matt George shared with us is true, then the Kings would probably see it that way.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
They like Acuff. A lot of people do.
Well, let's see what happens.
How about our college basketball expert? You like Acuff, Jay?
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
Yeah. But I'm not sure. I'm and I haven't heard anything about Acuff and the King situation, whatever, but I'm not barking up the tree. But I'm hoping they don't like him like what people are saying today.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's good, but who knows?
See, when Jay speaks, he has an impact on the whole
That's
thing.
right.
So right then, Acuff stock went up, and then it came back down just because of what Jay said.
Yeah, and I wonder.
College basketball expert.
Yes,
That's right.
The oracle
Analyst.
of college basketball.
I don't know. There's just so many different players out there, especially if the Kings are going to be at 5, that it's interesting that Matt got this information now because there's just so much that's still going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Did he say from who?
No.
Side sources?
Yeah.
What did he say? What, scouts, front office? What did he put out there?
I think he
said
just alluded
there
to
are
it, the Kings sources.
There are fans within the Kings organization about Darius Acuff.
And by the way, the way it sits right now, if the Kings are fourth, 6 and 7 are 6 is you're most likely to pick sixth. Mm-hmm. So we can't assume 1 through 5. That'd be great, but you end up in the 4 spot, 6 on the board, 7 on the board strongly, and then even 8th is a remote possibility.
I just start to wonder, well, what is that level? Are you talking about taking Acuff at 3? You know what I mean? Would you take him over Caleb Wilson? I'm not saying you, Whitey. I'm saying how much do they like him? Because if you're taking him over, a ball handling wing, that's going to be a problem for me.
Well, there's lots of guards to choose from.
Yes,
and
there are.
They need wings and they need guards.
Yeah.
If you're looking at needs of this roster. Another way to look at it is we're just starting from scratch. Mm-hmm. But if they're looking at, no, we got some needs here. Let's fill some gaps. This is a good draft for this team to be looking to fill holes with.
Well, yeah, specifically the point guard conversation, hey, whatever floats your boat at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did Schmallen have a good weekend,
Schmallen did have a good weekend.
Oh, good.
Early. Yes.
Good.
Schmallen had a good weekend.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Still want to know what y'all did in Napa.
We'll get to it on the other side.
Alan's birthday.
I went to sleep.
Yeah. What's over under what time they went to bed, Jay?
In
Napa.
We had some good food, man.
Sounded like a setup to go
tasted
night
some
night.
grapes. Had some grape tasting, Jay. It was a good time, Jay. It was a good time.
Let's just say, are you well rested?
I'm very well rested. That's right.
More on the big birthday weekend when we come back. Also, would you try to foul with 8.9 seconds left if you were winning? Somebody did that yesterday. It didn't work out. Next, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. King's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Not to get lost in the weeds on these coaching decisions and this and that. We're going to find out more about Alan's spectacular birthday weekend in Napa. But what do you think of this strategy, Alan? You know, Florida out, the first one seed out.
Right.
And they got the lead. They make a free throw, 8.9 seconds to go. So they're up 2. Iowa's inbounding. Their strategy was to foul. Florida's strategy was to foul. 8.9 seconds up left when you're up 2.
To make them earn it at the line, or no 3, I guess.
Golden said after the game he wanted to foul one of Iowa's role players and see if he could make 2 free throws under pressure. That would have given the Gators one more possession or at least gotten to OT. But what happened was on the inbounds, Florida's defense completely got broken down, and Iowa ended up with a wide-open corner 3 and won the game.
Yeah. I mean,
what in the world?
I don't know.
If you get a stop, you win.
Yes, that's
You're ahead.
Well, you just talked about overthinking things, and that is literally what Florida did.
Uh-huh.
Just overthought it. It's not, I mean, it's one thing, again, if you're losing, but if you're already up, just play good defense and go home.
Mm-hmm.
You're the defending champion.
Right. Yeah.
Act like it. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
And then Kansas also, Kansas had to rally to get tied late with St. John's. There's 13 seconds to go, and Kansas has 4 fouls to give. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
So Kansas just kept fouling, like, immediately.
Right.
So they ended up, they're out of fouls to give, and St. John's has the ball with 3.9 seconds to go, so the inbound is a Darling, and he careens to the hoop. Kansas has no more fouls to give. They don't want to foul him, and he lays it in, and they lose.
Yeah, and it's just crazy because this is what you're working on. Like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
There's not a dress rehearsal. This is it.
Uh-huh.
And they just, again, very, very popular programs, very famous programs, and they just look like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
It didn't make very much sense.
Right. And, you got fouls to give, so the idea was, well, let them run a few seconds, foul them, run a few seconds. Pretty soon they'll be inbounding with like half a second to go.
Right.
But they were fouling like as soon as the ball was inbound. It's like, no, that's not helping.
Well, do you think it gets to
you go home?
Right. But do you think this gets to a point where this stuff isn't being practiced?
Probably.
And
they had one timeout, but they wanted to save it in case, St. John scores, and then you've got like 3 seconds left or 2 seconds left. You want that timeout. Mm-hmm. So the players probably weren't sure, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Fouling? All right, I fouled him. No, that's too soon. Well, they didn't know what.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you told me to foul.
Right.
And then obviously you have just the crowd and the fans and all the pressure. It just, I don't know. In those situations, it's just better to just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. Because if you're doing stuff that you don't practice, how do you feel about this, Whitey? When you have somebody up to bat, and I don't know how you feel about sacrifice bunting anyway, but
it's not a percentage play in today's game, Alan.
It's not. And then if you have somebody up to bat that you've never asked to bunt before, maybe it's your 3-hitter, but he's been slumping, and the baseball play, I guess, is to bunt, but he's never done it before. Are you, as a coach, asking him, like, for example, when you go to the extra innings and there's already a guy on second, right? I'm not asking him to bunt if I've never asked him to bunt before.
That actually happened in the 1986 World Series, and the Mets had a bunting situation, and Howard Johnson, I think, was a hitter, and he didn't bunt. And everyone's like, why in the world didn't he bunt? And the manager says, he's never bunted.
He doesn't bunt. So, I don't know. If you haven't worked on that stuff, then you just have to keep it simple and let it be. Mm-hmm. Just let it be.
Did you just let it be in this weekend in Napa?
Oh yeah, a little bit of some grape tasting. Had a nice dinner as well. It was great stuff.
That sounds pretty crazy.
Well, we golfed first, right, and then we had a tasting, and then we had dinner.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday!
You guys cooked the dinner at the Airbnb?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So like we said, it was a double night for me. So then on Friday, that was Sacramento. Then Saturday was Napa. So I took care of what I need to take care of, Jay.
Mm-hmm. On Friday?
That's right.
Okay.
Don't you worry about me, Jay.
No, I was more worried about the crew. The pieces together, the whole accompanying crew.
I was afraid I was going to read about some brawl in Napa.
Oh,
I was looking for it.
That's right. Well,
that Allen and the boys started.
That's right. Just like I told you. What's up, 5'9"?
I know.
We don't need that again.
I know.
We don't need that again.
So needless to say, dawn time, you guys it was pretty much a wrap.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, late night, great night.
Okay.
That's right. We shut Napa down.
Oh, boy.
We shut it down.
Or did it shut down?
They went out to shut it down. Oh, it's already closed.
It's already closed.
Never mind. Back to the room.
It's already
Back
shut
to the
down.
B&B.
It's already done. It's already done. But no, it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for holding it down on Friday.
How'd you play?
Terrible.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah.
And now, it's one of those times where you're just not striking the ball very well, not consistently.
Yeah.
So I got to get back in the lab.
Yeah.
I got to get back in the lab. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with this. And I needed that to happen. Because now.
So it's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm gonna turn this thing around.
All right. Rob M. questions whether the Kings will turn things around quickly. Says here on the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. The Kings will get the number 7 pick, not yet in the future star, and unfortunately just be average at best.
I mean, I don't think you got to worry about 7 or 8. I guess technically you do have to worry about that. But
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Rob, the thing that Matt George's sources would tell you is, this is a deep draft.
The deepest.
Yeah.
03.
Yeah.
But what is 03 with no LeBron, right? I mean, it's still a legendary draft, I'd say. We talked about this, a couple Hall of Famers in there, but LeBron was doing a decent bit of heavy lifting in that draft. And I don't know I think I do know, nobody is saying there is a guy like that.
There might not even be a D Wade, and that's no disrespect to any of the guys in this draft.
Right.
He's a phenomenal player.
Might be, Carmelo, Chris Bosh, which would be great.
Yeah.
You just still need more.
Yeah.
You still need more. I wonder if the Kings are just mentally preparing, kind of like what you did early on, Whitey, just for worst case scenario. If they're just, hey, we know who we have at 1, we know who we have at 2, but realistically, we're probably going to be 5 or 6. I think, have they just not decided, but have they just said, we're going to approach it this way?
I don't know if you heard, because you were obviously enjoying your birthday celebration, but Friday on Dave's show, we had Sam saying that a lot of people around the league assumed that Russell Westbrook would not be back next year. He said that's not something people are assuming anymore.
Those little birdies are chirping. And where did we hear that first? 2-6, baby. just something about it. It just made, I don't know. I still think his role could be different next season. Probably should be different next season. But yeah, the way they've kind of gravitated to him, and I think the Maxime Reynaud thing just changed how the Kings are looking at Westbrook moving forward.
I'll say this for Russ, not that he needs me to say anything in his favor, but for years, and this may go back even before you were here, Alan, a little bit before you were here. Jay, do you remember we used to have conversations, even when De'Aaron was still here, about how there still seems to be something of a leadership void with this team.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Russ just came in as like, void filled.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am the leader here, all right?
Yeah. I remember you guys had on JaVale McGee, and he was talking about they lost to the
right
Spurs.
there, yeah.
They lost to the Spurs, and he was not on the team anymore, but he said, yeah, we lost to the Spurs, and then we were on the plane or something, and he just said everybody was just kind of okay with it. You know, and obviously they're losing a lot now, but it's a little bit different. So it's the leadership conversation versus the dog conversation, two very similar conversations that we've had since I've been at the station. So at least, 3 years now where people are, oh, do we have a dog? And do we have somebody? And Trey Lyles got into it with the Bucks that one time. So we have a dog. Then they moved on from Trey Lyles. So it has been a void for a while now.
Maxime got into it yesterday with Trey Mann, I think.
I saw that. And Trey Mann, hey, bless you for being on, was he 32, whatever, on that team, just kind of stuck there.
So
but
they got a dog. They got a French bulldog.
That's right.
Belgian Malinois.
That's right.
Yeah.
And obviously you have Russ, who's always, just watch one game of Russ, and you're going to see him always standing on business. So I don't think that's an issue anymore. And if you don't necessarily think you are, either you think Russ is going to help you win, or you think you're going to be back in the tank, now Russ has kind of proven that he can help you with both. And that's not, me saying it, but that is kind of how it's coming off as far as the Kings are concerned.
Beam Team LTB says, we don't need a top draft pick. Just win out and let the chips fall where they may. Who cares anyways? Do you know who you can still get? Did you know you can still get a great player at 10? Pardon me. Did you know you can still get a great player at 10?
Oh, yeah. We're already here. Like, this is
10 right now. Tankathon is your guy, Falon, by the way.
I'll take him, but I don't know. I know everybody is trying to protect themselves, but you should make sure that you at least put yourself in the best position possible to try to get a top 5 pick. I'm not saying, the difference between we don't need it and, hey, if we don't get one, it's okay. You still should try to get one.
I think the Kings are pretty comfortable where they are, but I think the Jazz could still make that a little tight for them.
Yeah.
The league office just gave the Lakers a boost. There's a stunner, huh? We're back with that next. Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded 1 new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sacramento! Now you got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hoblet way. transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hoblet way. Experience the difference at HobletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Live stream The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports 1140.
We have a draft update here from the great Mark J. Spears. We all agree? The great Mark J. Spears?
Oh, yes.
Call him great? Yeah. Mark J. Spears, quote, real quick on Acuff. I had one GM tell me today he's moved into the top 3. Peterson might be going back down a little bit. He saw AJ as number 1, Wilson 2. So this anonymous GM has A.J. Dabonsa ranked number 1, Caleb Wilson 2, Darius Acuff number 3. According to Mark J. Spears.
I don't like this.
Who is good friends with Scott Perry.
I don't like this.
You don't like this? No. By the way, I'm not suggesting it's Scott Perry. He is friends with Scott Perry, but he's friends with a lot of GMs. Why don't you like that?
It just
AJ
scares me.
Caleb Wilson, Acuff.
Where's the disrespect for Cam Boozer?
Yes.
Well, maybe we should just keep pushing this because with the Kings' odds, maybe they can get Cam Boozer at 5.
Maybe they might be in play for Boozer or Peterson.
Yeah, this happens every year. Every
Agreed.
year we do this.
Honestly, Alan, I'll say it for you. It's nothing against Mark. It's nothing against Matt George. Just get no other reporter. Mm-hmm. It truly happens every single year. And this is cast blowing smoke, hiding things. Like, who gives a damn?
Yeah.
At this point, let's see who gets the picks, and then we'll move forward.
Right.
Everybody why do you like somebody different? So do I. Amadrock likes somebody different. So does Alan. It happens all the time.
Yes.
Report what you want to report, but we shouldn't be taking this stuff that big of it's not that big of a deal.
Well,
it's not that
especially,
serious.
because when it comes from somebody inside the game, there's another level to it, Jay, as you said, blowing smoke.
Right.
A GM is talking to Mark Spears. He knows Mark Spears is a reporter.
Right.
He knows this is a good chance he's getting out. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
let me give
I
you
don't want
something.
people to know what I'm thinking, but I'll tell you this because that's what I want everyone to think we're thinking.
Yeah. I cannot see. If you take Acuff over Cam Boozer, it just wouldn't make.
You're not an Acuff guy, are you?
I just get scared. I don't know. Maybe I just am.
It's fine.
I'm struggling with the smaller
I'm not
guards.
there with everybody else yet either on him.
I just struggle with smaller guards. I just think that there is a prototype that we're seeing in the league right now, and the Kings don't have it. So to me, that is more important than a high-scoring guard. You need to add that type of prototype. Or, again, the Keaton Wagler conversation at 6'6" is a little bit different, but you don't have that. Keegan Murray, I don't think is going to be that. I just think if you have somebody like Cam Boozer or AJ DeBonsa, it makes more sense for where we're seeing the game go right now.
Yeah. By the way, again, I want to give you credit for this, and I know it's something I've mentioned before over the last few years. One of the debates within the Kings fandom is, hey, what about Devin Carter? Is he a point guard? And I remember having this conversation with you on your show, and I said, well, he might be. We don't know. And you said, no, he's not. Well, I think you were right. Again, I think you were right. They were having the conversation last night. Mark and Katie had the conversation during the telecast. And they said, he's a point guard. He's not. He's a basketball player. And Katie said, yeah, probably not. You don't want to be your primary point guard. He's really not. He can maybe play there a little bit as a combo guard, but he's not a point guard.
No, he's not.
And I think the Kings wanted to see if he could be, and I think now the answer is he can do some things, but he's not a point guard.
Well, even going back to, Keon, people wanted to say, I remember it was, I think it was a Bleacher Report article, and they said the Kings might make a move with the Rockets for Keon Ellis. And I read 2 lines of it. I'm thinking, yeah, you guys have never watched Keon Ellis play.
Yeah.
Because he's not a point guard.
Yeah.
He is a 2 guard, and he's a very good defensive 2 guard, but he's not going to help you from missing Fred VanVleet. He's not going to do stuff like that. So the Kings do need a point guard, don't get me wrong. But that's why I've been team trade down for what? Just trade down and get 2. Get LeBaron and get, I don't know, you can get Koa Pete down there or something. Just do that.
Hey, our guy declared for the draft today.
Which guy?
Kareem.
Oh, our guy from overseas.
Kareem Lopez.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Go get Kareem.
Kareem Lopez declared for the draft today.
LeBaron and Kareem. That's all we need. Because at this point, we're going to talk to 12 different people, more GMs. They don't know what they want.
I'll say the one thing that we can take to the bank on Mark J. Spears' report. Well, 2 things. One is Mark J. Spears doesn't fool around with this stuff.
Right.
2 is we have been assuming for months that in some order the top 3 are AJ and Peterson and Boozer. And right now it looks like you can't assume that.
No. But again, this draft went from, I'll never forget when we first started talking about the draft and we had on a draft analyst on, and I asked a very simple question. Would you take Cooper Flagg over any of these guys, or where would Cooper go in this draft? He said 1.
Oh, yeah.
That told me all I needed to know about this draft. I don't know. Maybe in general, Whitey, I'm just not that high on this draft.
Oh, boy.
Maybe it's just, no, because I don't know. When nobody else knows, you start questioning what you thought you knew. All I know is that I like AJ DeBansa. That's the only thing I know.
Should be the best we've had since the Wemby draft, I would think.
I would say that too.
Yeah.
But that's all I actually truly know is that I like AJ DeBansa. I like Caleb Wilson. I know he only missed about 10 games right prior to his injury. I know I like them. Caleb, I would have loved to see him in March Madness. When it comes to Boozer, I like him. There's always going to be a ceiling conversation. That's about it. These guards, literally, like Jay said, like your ice cream on Thursdays. Whatever flavor you like, right? Michael Brown, he's been out because of his back issue. So there's his situation. There's Keaton Wagler. It's just too many. It's too many.
I think we're also running the risk of doing this. I'm thinking it's some of the guys that are probably going to be drafted a little lower. Bennett Sturts, for example, at Iowa. He didn't have a great game, but they're playing well. He'll go out there and he'll have, I think he was 0 for 9 from threes, and it's like you don't hear about it. And he's going to get drafted middle of the first round, and people are going to say he's a really good player. But if one of the guys at the top has a bad game, oh, you see that? He's a fraud. He's a failure. There's no way he should be one of the top picks.
Yeah.
The standards are totally different.
And then, when you brought up Mark J. Spears, so what's happening with Kingston Flemings? What's happening now? Where'd he go? He was the guy.
Seth Greenberg had some interesting things to say about Peterson. I know that Stephen A. was like, there's no way in hell you should be the first pick. Yeah, whatever. But Seth Greenberg says you'd like to see in a big game like that, you'd like to see him step up and kind of take over the game a little bit, and he didn't do that.
Right.
Like I was saying, there's that disconnect there. Is it him but that's a fair comment.
It is. Because
he did score he went to the line and made 2 free throws to tie the game, but in a game of that magnitude, if you're really like the number one pick, you'd want to see a guy have a little more impact on the game.
Yes. And was it Jerry Reynolds when we were talking about that? If you are the number one pick, then it should be pretty obvious. And I do feel like early on with Darren Peterson, it was. It just
Yes. I
it just
saw
stopped.
it too. Yeah.
It just stopped.
Yeah.
When everything came out about is he not playing enough and all that drama, I think it just has affected him.
Yeah.
And I think to Kayla Anderson's point here, can you handle being in Sacramento? We just dealt with this with De'Aaron and the conversations we've had about De'Aaron. Does he want to be Batman? Does he want to be Robin? If you're adding in somebody and you're saying, hey, we're putting the organization on your shoulders, they better be some broad shoulders.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's not to say don't draft Darren Peterson, but it changes the outlook on, hey, this is a piece versus this is the piece.
Yeah, it's kind of like 30 Rock. I'd watched 30 Rock, and 30 Rock was a little hit and miss, a little uneven. And sometimes like, oh, this is the funniest thing. I tell my wife, oh, you got to watch this. And we watch it. It's like, It's horrible. I know, but last week it was good, That's Darren Peterson has been that way a little bit this year. Oh, you got to see this guy. See that? Oh, you should have seen him last game. It was really good.
Another show that reminds me of, that's how I feel about Key and Peele.
Really?
Key and Peele either just cracks me up or I don't crack a smile. There's no in between with Key and Peele.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes this is the funniest thing I've ever watched. Yeah. Other times, that was a rough one. That was a swing and a miss.
Well, guess what? The NBA is helping out the Lakers a little bit. Luka got a 16th technical of the season on Saturday, and that meant, he's going to miss a game. He got into it a little bit with Goga Bitadze. Mm-hmm. They had a little verbal back and forth following a free throw attempt. So the Lakers, they've won 9 in a row. So the league looked into it. They decided, we're rescinding the technical. So Luka gets to play tonight against the Pistons as the Lakers go for their 10th straight win. Technical foul rescinded. Why? I'm not really sure.
There's always something with Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Luka, by the way, says Bitadze said something about his entire family.
Really?
Something inappropriate with his entire family. And Luka says, look, I let my teammates down, but I had to stand up for myself. So they both got technicals. Bitadze says, no, I didn't say that. He said something in Serbian and didn't know I could understand what he said. Anyway, the league looked into it and said, we're good. Rescinded. Technical foul rescinded. You could play for the Lakers as they try to win their 10th straight. How about that, Alan?
That's interesting because Luka has that situation with his wife that he's going through.
Yes.
So there's definitely some low-hanging fruit out there, I'm sure. So I don't know if Goga went in that direction or not.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like he might have.
I won't tell you what Luka says. He said about his family, but I will tell Bitadze said, no. I have all the respect for Luka and what he's done and everybody's family. I didn't say that.
I would be surprised. I mean, I don't watch a ton of Magic basketball, but Goga does not strike me as, just from what I've seen, it would be a bit random. Would be a little random.
So, good for the Lakers.
Yep.
Maxime Renaud, meanwhile, first team all-rookie. What do you think? Next, we'll break it down on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your number one sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. And there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. With an almighty, all-powerful A19 chip. And Ceramic Shield 2, built to survive this. And this. And a 48-megapixel fusion camera with 2x optical quality zoom and next-gen portraits. And double the starting storage of iPhone 16e. And long-lasting battery life for hours of watching the studio.
That's the dream!
And it comes with Apple Intelligence. And you can charge it with USB-C. Or with MagSafe accessories. And a whole lot more, all for a lot less. Get the new iPhone 17e at T-Mobile today.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Kings with the win last night. What choice did they have? Even if they went into that game thinking, we might be better off losing, the Brooklyn Nets didn't give them much of a chance to do that. So the Kings take advantage, 126-122. And Alan, as you know, there are a lot of people that say, and I think even Doug Christie talked about it after the game, hey, you got to win these games. Mm-hmm. You don't want to foment a losing attitude. Yeah. You lose some of these games, next thing you know, you can't create a winning culture. Mm-hmm. Somebody just mentioned that. Was it in the YouTube?
In the YouTube
comments? Yeah.
Yeah, they said...
That's a great argument, isn't it? Yeah. You don't want to create this losing culture. Losing begets losing.
Beam Team LTB says, I don't think we are really understanding just how important the impact of these wins are for the future. Did you know culture adds like 30 or more wins? That's what I'm happy about. Yeah, I just disagree. I disagree.
Did Beam Team LTB say culture adds 30 wins?
That's how I'm reading it, yes. Culture adds like 30 or more wins.
So that's with better culture this year, the Kings would have 49 wins?
Maybe next season.
Maybe
next season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not the person that is saying don't send out everyone or just run a bunch of two-way guys every day. We've never had that conversation. I'm fine with what the Kings are doing, right, or going about it the right way, I'm fine with that. I just still don't know how much it matters, right, going into next season. I mean, 4 dudes from the rotation aren't even playing. So I just don't know how much it actually matters. But I don't have a problem with what I'm not saying to lose those games. I just also don't know how much winning matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard really to know for sure, except there is evidence, as we've discussed. There have been teams that have tanked hard and then came out of it. They made solid draft picks. And the Pistons, for example, last year when they started winning, they weren't dragged down by the fact that they'd lost for 7 years.
Yeah.
When it clicks, it clicks.
Right. To me,
it's
just a new season.
Yeah.
I don't know how much not AT&T.
OKC was tanking hard for a couple years.
I don't know if there's rollover minutes or rollover wins. I just don't know how much it matters. I think every season is its own season.
Mm-hmm. That said, there is reason to think that maybe the Kings got more done this year than we thought they would, and maybe you could make the reasonable argument that, hey, back at it next year.
Mm-hmm.
The tanking, whatever you want to call it, the rebuild, it's over.
Yeah. I do wonder how the rest of the basketball world, because they've been posting about Maxime a lot now. He gets a lot of love on social media and things like that. And I do wonder how some of the national pundits are looking at the Kings. If the Kings do get a top 5 pick and you add that to the crew, I do wonder how people will start to view the Maximes of the world and the Dylan Cardwells of the world, just because, people don't normally give Sacramento a lot of credit.
Alan, to your point, Sam Vecini here in The Athletic today has a piece on NBA rookie rankings. Con Knippel, Cooper Flagg staging an epic duel. He says this is the most interesting of the battles for major awards in the NBA. But here are his rankings. 1, Con Knippel. 2, Cooper Flagg. 3, VJ Edgecombe. 4, Dylan Harper. 5, Cedric Howard. 6, Maxime Reynaud.
Wow. I like that.
This is the national media. This is somebody with no favoritism towards the Kings. Then it goes Ace Bailey, Derek Queen, Trey Johnson, Jeremiah Fears, Colin Murray Boyles, Igor Demon, Kalkbrenner, Hugo Gonzalez, Will Riley. But right now, Maxime Reynaud, 6th, which would mean, as we discussed with Steve Ashburner on Friday when you weren't here, the all-rookie teams, they're not positionally specific. So it's the top 5, regardless of position. So, he doesn't get in because, he's the best center, but he's tracking towards at least being second team.
Yeah, it's going to be
with a
close.
Legitimate shot at first team.
Yeah, it's going to be close. What an interesting draft this go round. I know everybody kind of bagged on the 2024 draft. This one, it felt like it was a little bit deeper, but I mean, to have him in the conversation with the Ace Baileys and guys like that, that's a huge deal.
Yes, and it's so refreshing from the standpoint of being a Kings fan, not to have to look at the draft and go, man, I can't believe they took that guy when they could have taken it. Now it's the other way around.
Right.
The other teams are the ones going, man, we could have taken Maxime Reynaud and the Kings got him.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll never forget, sitting there kind of watching the draft go by, and he was the best available that second round, and for some reason, however many teams just said, no, thank you. I don't know why.
Yeah. On media day, I tried to get him to admit that he thought he'd go sooner. He's too smart. He wouldn't say it. You can tell he felt it. He goes, no.
Yeah.
I got picked where I got picked. But you thought you'd go sooner. No, I didn't say that.
And I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, Whitey, because there's another center that was taken the year prior in the second round, I believe, and that's Quentin Post. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Warriors, I think, moved back in the second round this past season. And I only bring that up because, Quentin Post was getting a good amount of time with the Warriors last season. I don't know if he's not playing as much because of Al Horford, and obviously they've added some pieces. But when you saw him play, I think a lot of people thought, man, did the Warriors do it again? And they get this center. And now in year 2, they had to add Al Horford. Obviously, they do the Kuminga deal, and I would say that Maxime Reynaud is a much better player than Quentin Post.
Yeah. Last year, he's playing a little bit more. 16.3 minutes last year, 17.5 this year. And he started 35 games this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like just under 8 points. He's about what he was last year statistically 4 rebounds, 8 points. He's a pretty good shooter for a big guy.
Yeah, that's his calling card.
That's it, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, statistically, eye test, however you measure it, Maxime Renaud is way better than Quentin Post.
Right.
Who's been a nice pickup for them.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody thought, man, the Warriors did it again. And now you're looking and, nobody normally says that about the Kings, but this is a situation where, yeah, the league done messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And let the Kings get Maxime Renaud.
Mm-hmm.
But it is funny to look at the other names that are on that rookie ladder because I think it makes you feel a little bit better about Nick Clifford because it just puts it all into perspective that it is a bit of a gamble. You just never know who you're going to end up with. And that's why I'm so nervous heading into this draft this season. But, I've been probably tougher on Nick Clifford than others. But when you see a list like that, it really does put it into perspective that you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah, and you try to get through the purple lenses here because we all see everything through that Kings lens, but then you see stuff from around the country when a lot of the national stuff tends to skew very anti-Kings because they're the Kings. They can't do anything. So it looks like Scott Perry in his first draft back and B.J. Armstrong looks like a pretty good one.
Yes. Yeah, I think they definitely hit, and obviously, you throw in a guy like Dylan Cardwell as well, who, didn't even get drafted.
Yeah, my buddy.
Yeah, that is your buddy. That is your buddy. And Matt, wanted the jersey, or he didn't know if he wanted the jersey or not?
I think he thought I was saying it was his, and I kind of, yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if he's posted it. This weekend, Saturday, Dylan Cardwell was at True Sports Cards. He signed some stuff, and I had a couple jerseys, and he signed one. He said, 1140, shout out 1140, put on there without me asking. And then I also asked him if he would put Whitey is better than Matt George, which I didn't think he would because he knows Matt George. He said, I'll do that. So thank you.
There you go.
Show that to Matt George, who, did kind of think that I was offering it to him.
Yeah.
I was not.
He was, well, you said, what did you say, show and tell? I have some show and tell.
Yeah.
And I think he saw 2 jerseys, and he thought, at least one of them got to be mine.
Yeah. So it was amazing, though, to see, even though we expected it, Whitey is better than Matt G. The way people respond to him and the way he responds to them. People just love him. Let's face it, for a guy who doesn't play that much, and I know he's a young player, but the energy that he brings, and he does a lot of the things that Kings fans have been needing and wanting somebody to do, hustle the way he hustles and protect the rim. So, the young players that have come in, that's been a big success for the Kings.
Do you think that Dylan Cardwell, I don't want to say, I know he's been injured and he's back now, but do you think that the expectations have become a bit more realistic with him? Because early on when he, first popped up, I think a lot of us, there are a lot of conversations. What was it, Dennis Rodman or somebody? Or Ben Wallace or somebody?
Yeah.
But it feels like now, obviously he was injured for a good bit of time. Feels like their expectations are a bit more realistic with Dylan Cardwell.
Yeah, but he does seem like a guy who helps you do things that you need to do to win.
Yes, without a doubt.
Honestly, yeah. Kind of like some of the guys, and we don't need to mention any names, but the last 2 years have been a few guys like, he really hustles, he does this. And Dylan Cardwell is that, but he's a legitimate NBA player.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no question. Like, should he be up here? Should he maybe be in G League for some more seasoning? No.
Yeah.
Plus, then everything with how demonstrative he is, it's a win.
Yeah. Do you wonder, just going back to college, and we're watching so much college basketball right now, do you wonder, is it somebody's job, or is it your coach's job to prepare you for the next level? Or, hey, you're a really good defender. That's what you're going to be for us. We have our scores. We don't need you to score. Or would you say as a coach, hey, maybe you should have had Dylan working on more offensive things? Because he's going to have to get there eventually. But would you put that on a coach or say, no, while I have you?
Yeah, my guess is that a lot of that is sussed out before the player comes here. This is what we can do for you. This is how we're going to set you up. It's not a matter of once a player comes in and then all right, we got to figure out how to make him a better offensive player.
Yeah. Because it's all just, they got their systems and it is what it is.
Do you think Maxime Renaud can be a star in this league, a star center? Some would
star?
say, some Kings fans might say, he's a star now. Could he be a star player Like a guy that when other teams are playing the Kings are like, all right, top of the whiteboard, near the top, if not the very top, what do we do about Max Reno?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to say yes, but I feel like that's just too easy. Like, do you think he could be better than Şengün?
Şengün is, I would say yes, only because Şengün, I think, has kind of leveled off a little bit. That's a really good player.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the other centers in the league. You got Şengün.
If the three-point shot is real, the percentage has been really good lately. Woo. Yeah. You got a lot of potential there. But the other thing is he's so young. Defensively, he's like, whoa, long ways to go, as is the case with any young player.
Like Zubac. Like, that's a guy to me where he's not a star, but he's a starting center.
Zubac is like a Dylan Cardwell-type player, but a guy that you're going to play all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Cardwell could probably play more on a team if you have more. If he was on a team of a bunch of offensive guys, we didn't have to worry about scoring. That could really work.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the different tiers of centers and trying to figure out realistically with no purple lenses where I think Maxime could be. And that's why a lot of people have been high on Şengün. So that's my first question.
He's a very, very, very good player. Yeah.
Şengün is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's even fair to say I think that Maxime could be as good as Şengün. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
it's even hard. It's always impossible, virtually impossible. But then it's harder when he's doing what he's doing through no fault of his own against really bad teams.
Yeah. And he goes to work against them.
Yeah.
Now, we have to see, I think the next step, which seems honestly a bit funny, is to see Maxime, whenever that time comes, Whitey, with no Russell Westbrook, because he is a different player. So I would say Şengün is Şengün. Now, I don't know that Şengün can be your best player on a championship team. Right now, he can't. The Rockets are struggling,
From the 925, slow your roll. This is on the text line. 20 wins, and we've got guys that are way better than guys that have actually performed in the playoffs. This kind of thinking is what has led us here. Also from the 916, Cardwell equals Michael the Animal Smith. That's a callback. Michael the Animal Smith is very popular. And then from the 530, Maxime's dream comparison is Dirk. No, it's not.
Well,
thank you.
not
Respectfully,
Dirk. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the slow your roll text. Who are we talking about?
I assume we were just talking about Max, and I was, I was getting a little silly a little bit, asking you to speculate broadly.
Yeah, if we're Schmal and Miles setting the All-Stars at 0.5, because that's the difference, right? Being an all-star versus being a star in this league. You asked me if he could be a star in this league. I think he could get an all-star. I don't know if that makes you a star in this league. I would take the over if it was at 0.5 all-stars. I think he can get one.
And you still don't think Boozer's going to be an all-star?
I never said that.
Well, we had a conversation about the top three players. Are they all going to be multiple-time all-stars? Didn't we have that conversation?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, no, you said all three of them, though.
Yes.
Multiple time. All three. Well, now, who's the three? Now it's A-Cuff. It's not even Boozer anymore.
Right. Okay. So you did not say Boozer would not be an all-star. You just doubted whether he'd be a multiple-time all-star?
No. You said all three.
Yes.
And I said I don't know about that. I don't know if it was Boozer
that wasn't Boozer-centric.
Or Darren Peterson, whoever. I know AJ will be an all-star. I feel I don't know that, but I feel the most confident about that. But yeah, the other guys, I don't know.
Yeah, looks like there's movement here in the rankings. Maybe some of it is, it's a season of disinformation, but it looks like the list of prospects and the rankings are shifting as we speak after a crazy couple rounds of the tournament.
Every single time.
Who saw it coming?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, out of nowhere.
Oh, my
now
goodness.
Now A-Cuff's rising.
And
Peterson's down.
But we still have another weekend. And then another weekend.
Yeah.
And they'll all flip again.
And Boozer's team wins, but boy, we really saw the lack of athleticism. I don't know if he's my first pick anymore, even though they won.
Do you think Darren Peterson regrets just going about this the way he went about it? Like, if he had a regret, and we talked about this before, he could have just not played. We were talking about this with the high flyer. Just don't play.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how different things would look.
Yeah, maybe it's hard to know because we don't know exactly what happened. But, yeah, I think all of them would probably go, maybe we could have handled that better. Primarily, it's on him. I'm not blaming his coach or his teammates, but the whole thing, they should have been a much better team than they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with him, and maybe he didn't handle things well, but you could just tell it's like that. They're just not it. When they got destroyed in the conference championship game or tournament by Houston, it's like, oh, that was bad.
I know you've said that he needs a change of scenery already, but...
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah. It does feel like a weird world where, what if he did just go back? I got unfinished business. I got to figure this thing out. I got to make things right with the Jayhawks. What if he went back?
I bet you the school would just as soon he not.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bad look. Yeah, we've been there, done that. You go get him. You go get your money.
Yeah. We'll see you. Don't do it for us. Don't do it for No, please don't. Please. You can go to a different school. Run it back that way.
It's so funny because we kept having these conversations about what should the Kings do if they have the first pick. Should they take Boozer? Should they take Peterson? And I was thinking they're not going to have the first pick. We don't need to have these conversations. But it looks like Peterson maybe sliding away, or at least down the list to where the Kings might have a shot at him even if they don't have one of the top 2 picks.
You know what I was thinking of when we had on that the young reporter last week?
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of the most highly anticipated NBA lottery or draft lotteries? And how long would you go back? There's so much on the line in this draft lottery.
The Wemby one was obviously pretty.
That's true.
Because that one guy was going to make such a difference. Yeah, but you've got so many teams tanking this year. Yeah.
It feels like it. I mean, there's a lot on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ran it for you, Whitey.
Yeah, what do we got?
Man, drop down to 6. Drop down to 6. Washington with the number 1 pick. Brooklyn with the number 2 pick. Chicago jumps up 6 spots. Memphis gets the 4th pick.
Yeah. Well, according to the odds, the Kings are most likely to end up 6th if they are 4th. You'd think 4th off, they'll be 4th. No, the way these odds work, they're most likely, if you end up in the 4th spot, you got a better than 25% chance to end up with the 6th pick.
I did run it again, and we got the number 1 pick. So it took 2 spins.
All right.
2 spins, baby.
All it takes is 1.
That's right.
And who are you picking at 6 if you get 6? Who are you taking?
Goodness.
Who do you want?
We don't know who's still there.
Praying, right. Who are you praying is still there, realistically?
At 6?
Uh-huh.
Honestly, we don't know what's going on with your boy Kingston Flemings, but I'd probably go Keaton Wagler.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. I think I would just go there. Seems fairly safe. I don't know. The Michael Brown Jr., the back stuff kind of worries me. Can't do Nate Amen at this point, but I know they're still playing, but I would just go Keaton Wagler at 6.
I would too. Although it looks like maybe they're leaning point guard there, but it's hard to say. How excited are you about baseball season opening this week?
Oh, I can't wait. Now, we still don't have, the 22-inch machete taco.
Yeah.
But at least we're going to get
2. Someone told me it was 22 feet long.
Yes, 22 feet. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it to come back. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. I got a weird, and I did feel this last season too, they could have done more with the pitching staff, but I think the A's are going to be pretty good. I think they're going to be really entertaining. I don't know how much they'll win, but I think they're going to be really entertaining, and I think a lot of people in Sacramento are going to end up paying more attention to the A's than they thought that they were going.
Paying less money and more attention, because I know we have ads on our station right now. Tickets to some games are $8. Remember what they were last year at this time?
Oh, yeah.
They were not $8.
No. It was intimate pricing.
So I'm very, very curious to find out what the vibe is going to be like at Sutter Health Park this year.
Yeah.
Some of it, I think, is still to be determined based on what kind of start they get off to.
It's not the same as, obviously, the Kings and how tough it was to start that season, but you look at the AL West, and I do think there are going to be some opportunities for the A's, because they're, people are even talking about people are still talking about the NL West being possibly the best division in baseball. But the AL West, I know the Mariners just had a nice run, but I think the A's are going to have some opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do with the Giants. I don't. Bryce Eldridge, back to Sacramento with us. Come see the River Cats.
Yeah.
He'll be out there. I got a crazy thought that I don't know how you feel about this. Do you think it matters that your AAA ballpark doesn't resemble your big league ballpark? Like, it is so much harder to hit in San Francisco at Oracle Park than in Sacramento. Do you think that matters at all?
I think it matters from this point of view, and I've actually talked to Billy Beane about this. The Coast League, you got some crazy parks where it's hard to gauge what's going on because the ball flies out of there. And I know when Billy Beane was running the A's, he said, we like that here, Sacramento, the park is pretty neutral. It's not the Coliseum. It's not, to your point, it's not Oracle. But you can get a pretty clear idea of what's going on there.
Okay.
Because it's not like whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just launch
altitude
angle.
or heavy winds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I've always wondered
that's
that.
Important.
Even from like a weather perspective, and I know this happens with players all the time, but you're playing in 100-degree Sacramento, and then you go out, you get the call up to King Street, and it's 40 degrees. You're playing at night.
Right.
You're like, man, these are completely different hitting conditions.
But I know last year Sutter Health Park as a major league park played pretty home run heavy.
It did.
Did it play that way at AAA?
I don't
remember it ever. Okay, before it used to be, like I said, it used to be fairly neutral.
I think that's
the
how
ball was flying out of there at the major league level.
Yeah, well, we would do the coaches show, and I think the idea is that Sutter Health compared to other AAA parks is pretty even keel.
Yeah.
But obviously compared to Oracle, it seems much more hitter friendly. That's the difference. But I mean, yeah, because you have guys that are coming up. Like, to me, you get a guy like Drew Gilbert who can easily hit the ball out in Sacramento. But in my mind, I'm thinking, what does that help? Once you get to Oracle, it's a completely different ballpark, no pun intended. I don't know.
Yeah. It's better not to have one of those crazy funhouse parks.
Yeah.
But it did have some of that element last year.
It did.
Yeah.
It did, and it's going to have it again.
I thought maybe it was the pitchers getting adjusted to the mound or...
Yeah.
I mean, and then, when there's no grandstands out there, someone hits a long one out there, it just looks like, oh my goodness, he just hit it over the mountains.
Yeah. It went to Tower Bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be a really fun baseball season. I think A's fans are going to have a good one. I don't know what to make of the Giants.
Do you know who Chris Townsend is? He used to do stuff on the station.
Mm-hmm.
He does the A's cast. I just saw before the show started his prediction for the A's, 83 wins.
Okay. All right. I mean, that you're moving in the right direction.
Right. You might expect somebody who works for the A's might say, 89 to 90 easy. 83 that seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
It seems pretty doable depending on the chucking.
Well, hey, if they didn't go on that 20-game losing streak last season.
How much of it depends on Severino being something resembling an ace?
He just has to want to be here.
Yeah.
just enjoy yourself. Can we do that?
Speaking of people who want to be here or there, the latest on Trent Williams and the Niners when we come back. Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices. As a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
If you're serious about your golf game, then you need to know about Total Game Fitting at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Whether it's the TrackMan-powered player performance studio for your best fit clubs, or the cutting-edge technology putter fitting studio, or the free Ballnamic ball fitter and 3D foot scanner, the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop offers you total game fitting from head to toe with equipment and apparel. Find your advantage at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop with the latest offering of new golf products in Northern California. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring a check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry, this deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
One of the many things that makes Jay the top-of-the-line producer is when something's breaking, something's happening, something's popping, he's like, hey, guys, you got to be aware of this. Jay just alerted Alan to some more information from Matt George on Darius Acuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Well, Matt just tweeted.
Thank you.
Matt just tweeted, and he just gave, a little bit more context.
Okay.
And basically he's saying all he's saying is that the Kings like him. They would still go.
Kings like Acuff.
Yeah, they would still go.
The original report was the Kings are very high on Acuff.
They would still go A.J. DeBonsa 1, he believes. But all he knows is when he's reached out, they have, brought up Acuff, which makes me think, okay, well, are you saying that means that is he the number one guard? You know what I mean? Is he the number one point guard? A lot of people are a bit scared, Whitey, and I didn't really think about it like this, but the idea of adding an offense-first, smaller guard and where the league is going and going back to the value or lack thereof of a Malik Monk, of Quentin Grimes, like guys like that. So a lot of people are kind of not taking that information very well. But I would just say this. We don't know where the Kings are going to end up. Obviously, they are targeting an A.J. DeBonsa if they get the number 1 or number 2 pick. I think the reality is we just don't know anything until we know where they're drafting at. And I think the question right now is, well, who are you taking him over? Like, thank you for this information, but it doesn't really do a ton for me unless I know who you would take him over. Do you like him more than Caleb Wilson? And Matt isn't saying any of that, so I don't really know what to do with the information, to be honest with you.
Well, it does sound like another brick in this wall that shows it's a wall of NBA teams that love Darius Acuff.
Right. But
really, all of a sudden, I mean, his draft stock it seems like all of a sudden, maybe it's been building, but his stock rising.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's still sitting at 6, but, maybe a lot of people are just assuming, hey, we're done assuming we're going to get the first pick. So we're all just going to assume we're going to get the 5th pick, and that's, I guess, who they were talking about.
I know I said we were going to talk about Trent Williams, and we'll get to it. I'll just go over it real quickly here because I said I would. Basically, with Trent Williams, according to various reports, Mike Florio is one of the people that had this report. Jason LaCanfora, I think, was the other one. They're not close to an agreement, and the 49ers are trying to get Trent Williams to agree to less money, and Trent Williams doesn't want to do that, and so back and forth they go. There was a deadline that was missed by the 49ers Friday. It was an option bonus. They're not paying it, which means they absorb a larger cap hit once they sign Trent Williams, presumably, but they're okay with that because they have cap room. At least they do now. So it looks like, a lot of reporters say, it looks like the 49ers are kind of sitting it out like, well, we want you, but not at that price.
Yeah.
Trent Williams is like, well, we have the amount agreed to that you're going to pay me this year. I don't want to play for any less than that. And the longer this goes on, the fewer suitors there are potentially if Trent Williams, if they decide, all right, we're going to release you, you're a free agent.
Right.
The longer they wait, there's fewer options for him if it gets to that point.
Well, that's a leverage play right now. So that's what.
Yeah. So they're kind of, I know it's a lot of nickels and a lot of dimes, but they're back to nickel and diamond.
Yeah.
One of their stars.
But do you think it's just a matter of we're just getting kind of tired of the song and dance with Trent Williams, as good as he is, but every year it feels like because he knows how good he is, hey, I'm actually not good with our current situation. They might just be, now, do they have that ability to be tired of it? That's a different conversation. That doesn't mean that they're not.
Well, I think he's okay with the amount. The deal is it's spelled out, but I don't think there's guaranteed money, right, Jay? And the 49ers are the team that wants to pay him less than the contract currently stipulates.
Right. They want to rework his money.
Yeah.
Not so much as paying less. They want to extend the money that he's going to get so they can use cap room this year versus 3 years down the road.
But my point is the deal's in place, and it's the 49ers are the ones who are saying, well, we don't want to do that deal.
Right now.
Yeah. It's not Trent Williams going, tear up my deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what happened last year with him. So, I don't know.
As much as they need him and as good as he is, and I know he's 38, Mike Florio says, the Niners don't want to give a bunch of guaranteed money to a guy who's 38, but I don't know what other options they have right now.
Well, I mean, what are you trying to accomplish? Right. It's kind of in a weird way, kind of similar to the Keon Ellis situation where, oh, well, Keon's a good player, but for what we're doing, we don't know that we can utilize him. If the Kings were in a more win now situation, maybe they would have, not picked up the option or whatever it was with Trent Williams. This is it for the Niners. So you don't really have a choice.
Here's the Jason LaCanfora report. They aren't anywhere close to a deal yet. I don't think anything happens unless the 49ers make a big move. Williams doesn't have much motivation to play for anything less than the $33 million in cash, that he is set to earn in 2026. The 49ers clearly are not comfortable with that, hence the renegotiation talks. Williams is acutely aware there is a robust market for his services as a free agent or through trade. But he's not a free agent unless the 49ers say, all right, we can't work it out, we release you. And some are saying, the Niners strategy here is the longer they take with this, then if they ever do actually say, all right, you're a free agent, there's not going to be anybody left that will have the money to want him.
Yeah.
To pay him.
Right. And that's not somebody like Trent Williams. I don't know. You could say, are they doing right by Trent Williams? But it's business, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And the 49ers do this all the time.
Yeah. They
I don't know why.
They can't help it. They just can't help themselves. They always – it just can't be a normal offseason.
Jay, you want to pay him his money or you want to we're going to be a little careful because of how old he is?
I don't think they care about how old he is. I think the fact
Then why
of the
aren't
matter.
they paying him?
Say it again.
Then why aren't they paying him?
Because I think they don't want to give him the money up front. I think they want to do what they normally do, which is they've done it with Fred Taylor, they've done it with Debo, they've done it with multiple people. Bosa, it's we're going to give you your money. Instead of us giving you $33 million right now, we want to give you 20 and stay 13. So all they do is convert partial of that money into a bonus, give you money. It's not about not paying them. It's the fact of we want to move from 25 or I think they're 29 million. We want to move from 29 million cap space to $45 million cap space because we might want to go soak in a wide receiver or something of that nature.
By the way, Soccer Dad Bod says, I think Trent is going to hold out through the OTAs and camp. He's old. He also says, y'all need to put some respect on Jay's camera.
Straight up.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, we're getting kind of a side partial view of Jay.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let
Right
me
now,
move
yeah.
it.
So thank you, Soccer Dad Bod. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think they don't want to pay the money because they've always paid the money. They just want to transition where the money is going to now versus when it's going to go over the next 2 or 3 years. But I completely agree with, what was it, Soccer Dad Bod?
Soccer Dad Bod.
Yeah, I think he's going to hold out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's actually going to help the Niners for what you talked about, Jason Lockenfor and Mike Florio's talked about that. And I think it's going to play out after the draft, so we'll see where the Niners, head towards that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a window conversation when it comes to the Niners because we know their schedule isn't going to be as easy as it was last season because obviously they played better, but you need Trent Williams. So
Yeah.
I just don't really understand what the point of this is.
Saving money, Alec.
I know, but
at what cost, right?
Right.
I mean, your offensive line is pretty spotty. And maybe the 49ers don't think it's as spotty as everybody else does. But there's one guy.
Well, we know they don't. We know they don't.
Yeah. There's one guy there that is head and shoulders above just about every offensive lineman in the league, certainly head and shoulders above everybody on your team. And you think you're going to be able to nickel and dime him to the point where he's going to, all right, I'll cave.
Right.
But see, I think I know you guys get the gist of it. They're not nickel and diming because nickel and diming would say we don't want to give you that money. It's we don't want to give you that money right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pay you that money. We just don't want to give you $33 million right now. We want to say we want to give you 20 this year, give you 5 next year, and 5 here, and 3 more there. That's not nickel and diming a person. I don't know where y'all talk about nickel and diming.
Well, but you're
if
running
somebody's
out of-
nickel and diming me, that means I'm not getting the full amount of money that we signed for.
Well,
it's down the road.
You're down the road is short with him now.
Yep.
Because of his age.
Yeah, but the difference is, I just think we had two different observations. Nickel and diamond is it to me is Whitey. If you saying, listen, I'm worth $100, and I said, nah, Whitey, you really worth 75, and you're like, man, I might take 95, and you're like, no, I'll give you 77. That's nickel and diamond to me. If someone is saying, listen, I'm gonna give you your $33 million. But I just don't want to give it to you right now. Let's agree to something over the 5 years. Now, that's a different decision that you have to make. To me, that's not nickel and diming.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Yeah, maybe nickel and diming is not the right term, but it does feel like you're putting yourself, I guess, in harm's way for something. Is the juice worth the squeeze, I guess, is my point, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Right.
Point I'm not arguing.
I hear
not
you.
saying it's a sharp or smart move to do so. I'm just saying if you telling me I'm going to get my money,
right.
It's all depends on do I want my money now, next year, next week? Those things are a little different than nickel and diming me.
Yeah.
That's just, at least where I come from, that's different.
Yeah. Mike Flores says they don't want to pay the guy $32 million in cash to a guy who's going to turn 38 in July. He says the problem with no guarantees in the contract, the 49ers can just squat and wait.
Agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying pay the man his money.
Yeah. Now. It's my money and I need it now.
There you go. I'm with you.
You know, they always ask that when you're talking about the lottery. If you were to win the lottery, would you want it to come in an allotment or a lump sum?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? You win, let's say you win $1 billion tomorrow. Do you want it coming to you, I don't know, like a paycheck?
If I get a lump sum,
I'd
have to pencil out, see how do I have more in the long run? I'm thinking, no, really, you'd have to look at that.
Yeah.
If you pay me a lump sum, I'm thinking, well, I can invest that as I want. I
Right.
can make the money work for me. I could probably get more money in the long run, but I have to talk to my financials on that.
Just go through the flow, Whitey.
No, you can't. It's not that easy.
Look, I don't want the lump sum.
Really?
I want an allotment. That's what I want.
Well, doesn't it depend on how much you make or the pool that you hit?
You figure I hit for $1 billion, right?
Okay.
So
$1 billion.
You probably
give me my billion lump sum.
Yeah, I'll take that.
No.
But what if it's $4 million? Doesn't that change your thoughts?
Yeah, give me that now. If it's $4 million, I need it all now.
But if it's $500 million, you're taking an allotment.
I want the allotment. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because I need it separated out, Jay. You know, unless I need to make certain purchases.
What if you're Trent Williams? What are you doing here?
Allotment.
What do you need?
I want the allotment. That's what I want.
Because I'm 38.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, he wants a lump sum.
Unless you were you want a Bobby Bonilla, right?
Ooh,
See, that's what I like.
See, and that's the
what I
conversation that you're having.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
I need that forever. Mm-hmm. That's deferring. Now we're deferring like Shohei.
Yeah, exactly. That's how the Dodgers built their – I'm not going to say it. That's how they've won 2 World Series in a row.
That's right.
Yeah. KD, is he the most disrespected great ever? Take a look at his climb up the all-time scoring list. We got an intriguing question for Kings fans, too. Next on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Inova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com. Driving business forward.
Ready to free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $36.99. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Here's a great question on the text line. Did anyone watch Andrei Stojakovic play in the tournament? Yes. Is he a late first-round pick or early second-round pick? I don't think I've seen him projected to be drafted in any of the mocks I look at. So he's not. I don't think he's projected to be a first or second round pick, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't find his way into the league.
Well, I know I think we just looked this up, that he has one more year of eligibility. So, I mean, he's so close now. He might
he's not going to be in this draft.
Why would you just come out next season when it's not as stacked as it is this season?
Rob M says, the Kings got here when I was in high school. After 40 years, I just need some hope they could challenge for a championship eventually. They can't blow it on another high draft pick. We need a win finally. A win in the draft, Alan. Not a blown pick, but a win in the draft, Alan.
It could be a win, but it might not be enough to challenge for a championship, as Rob M says it. You know, I think you can find a good player. It's just there's just a lot of work to do.
It seems to me that most of the people responding to our questions here, be it on the chat, the text line, or calling the station, and also on social media, it seems like a majority of Kings fans, maybe not a huge majority, but a majority are on board with the tanking. Is that the sense you get? That's an unscientific way of evaluating it, but I get the sense there's a lot of people. I think it's a slim majority that are on board with, all right, you're losing this year, you get a good pick. My question would be, how many people right now are starting to think, look, if you ace this pick, back at it next year.
Yeah.
And the tank.
Yeah, well, I know.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Are you on board with next year? Back at it. If you get a good pick this year, you nail it, let's go next year. No more tanking, back at the play-in or higher.
It depends on how people view the play-in. You know, I think that there are a lot of fans that don't enjoy the play-in because the Kings have not gotten in through the play-in. Maybe they look at it differently if the Kings got in, but they didn't the last couple years. But you're also on the backside of it. If you can get to that 7-8, I think maybe Kings fans would be into it. I mean, you're still talking about seeing competitive basketball and, you know, a chance to make it into the playoffs. I think the bigger issue is moving on from the contract. So how are you going to be back in the tank next season if you have these guys on your team?
Yeah.
I think that's the tough part.
That's part of the problem of where they are now. And no one wants to say that, but we talked about it at the time, and I'm sure they were keenly aware of it. One of the reasons you can't really compete when it comes to tanking with Washington and Indiana and the Nets is because your roster, there's too much talent on it.
Yes.
Yeah. Because part of it is because you couldn't move off of these deals. Now, a lot of those guys are sitting anyway. They're out for the year, so they're not playing. But you don't have those quad A level guys that are playing like they are for some of the teams that are tanking hard right now.
Yeah, and even when you do play them, you're still running DeMar DeRozan out there, who's always going to be able to get these young players in the air. You still have Russell Westbrook, so that's I don't want to say it's an issue, but when it comes to tanking, it is an issue.
Yeah, given that the next draft after this one is not projected to be great, and that could change a lot. And I think the one after that, even at this point, is not projected to be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And given that we don't know what is going to happen with the lottery and the league, we don't know what the league's going to do to crack down on tanking. I think you have to consider right now, looking at it, hey, we got a guy we really like in the draft and it pans out for us. We're back at it next year. We're competitive again next year.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd ever say that, but I just think circumstances have shifted to the point where you've got a lot accomplished this year with your younger players. I think that's back on the board. Call it your hybrid rebuild, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think it's back on the board.
Well, I think there's nothing wrong with having a plan. I don't know that the Kings, especially with those contracts, I don't know that you should go into a season thinking, hey, we're going to tank this season, especially when you have on the books what they have on the books. But that doesn't mean that if it doesn't go well, you can't pivot. You can still pivot at some point. If the Kings have another rough start to the season, hey, well, that wasn't the plan, but now we're going to do X, Y, and Z. The difference will be, will they be able to move any of the contracts next season? Because they weren't able to do it this season once they decided, okay, this season is not going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question right now.
Jay, are you possibly back on board with getting after it next year?
No, sir.
No.
I think I'm riding with you. Or are you coming back around?
I'm coming back around because the draft next year is not going to be very good. I don't know what the league is going to do to crack down on tanking if I get a good pick and I like the player a lot.
Wow, Whitey.
I know.
Following the lead, sir.
Yep. I know. I just feel like wandering further down that rabbit hole of tanking when I don't know what the league's going to do to prevent me from doing that.
What if it's
I tanked
just
enough. I can't
kind
even
of
tank this year.
What if it just says they'll fine you? If it's money or something and it's nothing major, then, nothing major. I say that tongue in cheek, but $1 million fine or $500,000 fine like they did Utah. They don't remove any of your draft picks or, you don't take losses. Just financially, it's a burden on your pocket.
Yeah, that's probably not much of a deterrent, right? But I do think the Kings may be in that spot. It's dangerous, but you can kind of do two things at once because you have replenished the roster. You can kind of continue to rebuild on the fly, which is really hard to do.
Yeah.
But you may be in position to do that. Again, if you ace your draft pick this year.
That's what this all comes down to.
Yeah.
Because you're, I don't know, I don't want to say skipping the line, but if you get 1 or 2, then you're cooking. Then I wonder, though, based on if they get 1 or 2, or let's say top 3, does that change what they feel like they need back for value, right? And I'm just going to use Domantas Sabonis as an example. If they get the number 1 pick in the draft and they get A.J. DeBonsa and they decide, all right, we're good to go, do they go back to the Raptors and say, look, we'd like a first rounder, but honestly, we're just ready to move on to the next phase. So we'll take 2 seconds, whatever. We just want to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they get 5 or 6, something like that, would they then feel, well, we have to get something back because we didn't hit?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're playing with those ideas right now.
Probably. Here's what I'm saying, Jay. Let's just say next year that your front court is Precious, and I know you might not keep them, but we're just spitballing. Precious and Keegan and Max Reno. And let's say I got one of the point guards, whichever one, fill in the blank in the draft. And then I've got, I don't know, Neek, somebody that's 2 guard. And that's my base lineup. Now, I know there's a lot of veterans that factor into that, but let's just say one way or the other, that's your lineup. I think you could compete as hard as you want to with that bunch. You're probably not going to be great, but you'd be doing 2 things at once. We're trying to be competitive. This team is trying to win as we're developing them. That wouldn't be a pure tank because you would win decent number of games, but I think that might be where it is rather than, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of just, they're horrible.
Yeah.
They couldn't even do 1 year, to their credit. They couldn't do 1 year of being miserable.
No.
They're not miserable right now.
No.
They're not very good, but they're not, dreadfully bad.
I mean, they hit their limit. They hit their limit and they decided we can't keep doing this the way that we've been doing it. We have to just play this thing straight up and let the chips fall where they may. So Whitey, how long would you say the Kings did? Because even now, when they lose, they're just losing. I don't think anything is really intentional. But how long would you say it lasted from when the Kings were doing first half, we're going to have Russ and DeMar out there. Second half, they're just really not going to play that much. How long did that actually last?
Honestly, I'd have to look it up, but off the top of my head, I'd say maybe 3 games.
Yeah, right. And they said, we can't do it.
Yeah.
We cannot do it.
Uh-huh. In the chat here, Beam Team LTB, what is the most harsh punishment Silver has handed down? Ja was pulling guns on minors, and he had to do breathing exercises. Silver won't do anything. I don't know if that's entirely accurate, but the point is made.
Right.
Yes.
I would say for me, Whitey, and I think you've been the person who was like, yeah, it's going to take a couple of years. I'm in the boat of it's going to take at least 2-3 years to kind of turn this ship completely around.
That's what I've always been assuming. Yeah.
I would say if I'm just going through with your scenario, I get, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I get what you're saying is like, look, we're not running out there to tank. We're not running G-Leaguers out there. But I would argue that lineup ain't beat nobody anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's still kind of a fold of the fact that we know we're going to be bad.
Yeah.
Now, you could try and fool us on a business tip of saying, okay, look, we're going to put, no disrespect to the youngsters, but the youngsters ain't beating 75% of the teams in the league. So to me, that's just, if you want to feel good about yourself to say, okay, well, at least we ran out a young team and we tried to win. That's cool. We didn't go get no veterans this time. But you're also kind of conceding the fact of we're building around point guard, whoever, like you said, fill in the blank, and max. And we know it's still going to take us 2 more years down the road. Hopefully we get lucky and maybe get Ty Stokes or something of that nature, and then we'll build upon that. But to me, if you run out that young lineup, you're still saying we ain't going to win. So it ain't like you trying to really win to me anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Here we have from Soccer Dad Bod. Silver reminds me of the bad guy from Roger Rabbit. Believe, Eddie.
What? In what way?
I think he does kind of look like him. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like
there is a resemblance there. Nothing against our great commissioner.
With the suit and I'm looking at him a little bit.
That's a pretty good call. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
but it depends on. I really think Scott Perry deserves credit for this. I feel like just about every one of the major moves he's made, and some minor moves, there's been an option like, are we bringing Schroeder? If it works out, great. If it doesn't, we can spin him off. And I think that's where it is with this draft pick. Obviously, everything is centered on nailing it. And if you don't necessarily have a lot of options. But if you really do nail it, and you get a guy that is as good as you hope he is, and that takes off, I think that can change your plans for next year.
It can. I mean, again, are you trying to win a championship, or are you just trying to put your name in the hat and get in the dance? Mm-hmm. Because right now, I think you have to at least try to get back in the dance. And we know that they want to do that as soon as possible.
Yeah. We'll come back with a look at where the Kings are likely to pick. How much of a difference could it make? Could they be back at it next year? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time for the madness, and your HVAC system is in a full court press. Cold mornings, warm afternoons. Your heater and AC are battling, and your system is working overtime. Don't let your comfort get knocked out. Score Brower Mechanical's Madness BOGO Special. Buy a heating maintenance and get a free AC maintenance for just $89. Call 916-352-3113. Brower Mechanical. Residential and commercial HVAC sales and service. License number 1081055.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
That sound? Yeah, that's not a good sign. Hey, it's Drew Brees, and when your car starts making noises like that, a big repair bill might be coming right at you. But with CarShield, you don't have to fear unexpected breakdowns. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. I spent my career making tough calls, but this one is simple.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated, so don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart, just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Yeah, it's a big day in here for many reasons. Alan is back. Jay is doing extremely well in the inter-office bracket deal. And we have the Papa Shot in studio for some reason. We're not sure why.
I don't know. All I know is Jay is not happy that there are only two basketballs.
There's only two basketballs. You can't call it Papa Shot with only two basketballs.
Nope.
And I think there used to be three.
What do you call it?
Poopa Shot.
Yeah.
I think that's what you call it with only two basketballs.
I don't mind it in here, but I don't know.
You could use a soccer ball, but that's kind of lame.
It does kind of shrink the room a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, frankly. I love Papa Shot.
Yeah.
And I love getting up a few shots.
Yeah, and for me, that's right where I normally do my own workout.
Oh, that's right. Well, now you can actually shoot the basketball instead of doing all your...
Yeah, but, I don't need to shoot
your mime, your fantasy basketball,
right.
football,
Where am I going to do
baseball?
my football stuff?
Yeah, that's true.
Also, it's got to be fairly loud because, the big boss is below us. It's got to be kind of loud, right? So
yeah, maybe so.
All I know is that I'll probably get blamed for bringing it up.
Kyle Ledbetter's the record holder, apparently.
Well, Kyle also shoots, 90% from three-point land and can do a 360 dunk, so.
Yeah, so no surprise.
No, none there.
So we'll find out, Jay. I just texted Kyle Ledbetter to find out. Yep, I got the information on how to turn it on. So.
And how about the third ball? Does he have that info?
I don't know. I didn't ask him that. I should have.
Well, let me follow up on your text.
The cool thing is they're ABA colored basketballs.
Yeah, I love that.
Papa Shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Jay was just telling me the ABA basketballs that you can buy online, the ABA replicas, they sold out after Soul Power.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the article. I thought I sent it to you, but I was reading about it, and they were like, they can't keep the ball in stock. They're behind.
Nice looking ball.
Yeah, they're behind on orders.
Yeah.
So
nice looking basketball,
salute
Alan.
to them.
Yeah.
But you purchased one.
I purchased one. It was before the documentary came out for a mutual friend of ours for Christmas.
Sharp, brother.
Yeah.
Good mind there.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Yeah, the Kings with a win last night, so we're trying to figure out where they're going to pick, and I'm trying to figure out, look, if you ace your pick next year, wherever it is, does that mean the Kings could wrap up this whole rebuild/tank, whatever you want to call it, a lot sooner than expected? Could they try to be competitive for a play-in spot or better as soon as next year? Is that anywhere on the board? What do you think? I'm saying it's on my board, and I know a lot of people say, no, wait, whoa. We just started this process, this rebuild, this refreshing of the roster. You can't abandon it already, Alan.
Well, you got to see what happens this lottery. But my other thing is this, and this has been my whole hybrid rebuild kind of argument, because, okay, next season you're going to go through all this, and then you still have to hit on that draft pick. There's just a lot. There's just too much, I think, that needs to be done, and you still might not get a guy or guys that are good enough to truly compete. That's my issue with let's start from the full tank and do this for 3-4 years. You just don't even know what's coming on the other side. And for everybody that continues to bring up OKC and the Rockets, well, we don't even know what's going to happen with the Rockets.
I know, but the commissioner is coming down hard on tankers. He is threatened to come down hard.
We don't know that.
He's threatened.
Yeah.
Right?
We don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you get unlucky this go round, you're probably back in it anyway. You know, if you get the 5th or 6th pick.
This draft is luck proof. Wherever I pick, I'm good.
Yeah,
I get
that's
a shot
right.
at a really good player.
All first round.
That's why it's the perfect year for me to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
1 through 8 or so. I'm good.
Well,
I don't have to worry about, what'd you do? 4th? Great. 5th? Great. 6th? Great. 7th? Great. 8th? We'll make that work.
They better start playing the youth movement even more. I know they already are, but
I don't know what they're going to do with the roster and how they're going to figure out how it all fits and what you're going to do with all the players that are making all the money. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Mark has been hanging on. Hey, Mark, you're on the drive, guys. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So this sounds crazy. I feel like you went to the dark side. So you're going to have a 19-year-old on this team, and the youngest next player is going to be 23, 24? And what happens like when the old guys, finally hang up the sneakers? What are you going to have? Eventually this rebuild's going to start one way or the other. And here's the other thing. The Kings aren't tanking. The Kings, if they were tanking, they would have trotted out like Carter, and they would have kept Keon, and they would have had a young backcourt with, whatever, who they also have, Murray, that's about it, and, the 2 draft picks. That would have been like a young rebuild tank. The Kings tried to win this year and were just so bad that they're in this position. So it's like they're kind of tank-proof. They're the only team that isn't tanking, really, but they just ain't good enough to be any good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that I 100% agree, but I understand the point. The Kings are tank-proof, Alan.
Well, they just weren't that good this season. So it looked, and again, they have acted as if they weren't tanking this season. That's why I think a lot of us were confused early on, a couple months ago or so, where they started doing stuff. You saw some guys not playing anymore. They made some moves for the Patrick Baldwin Juniors and guys like that, but then things changed.
Mm-hmm.
Things changed a little bit.
Darren Stewart says next year's starting lineup: Acuff, Levine, Murray, Sabonis, Precious Achiuwa. The pillars build themselves. Jay's shaking that one off.
That another tanking season?
Yeah. Keegan Murray, next season is going to be pretty interesting for Keegan Murray. Pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean? How do you mean, Alan?
Well, he's going to actually be on that new contract, and now you're going into a season where we know how much he was looking forward to this season. It's an opportunity. De'Aaron is now in San Antonio, so we haven't really got to see Keegan as one of the guys, if not the guy. But next season, I don't know what happens with DeMar DeRozan, but assuming he's not on the team, which I know we really can't do, but this is going to be where a lot of people that have been hard on Keegan Murray, I think this is the season where I would understand, if it doesn't look good, we don't know, I would understand why people that have been hard on Keegan Murray, I would understand why they take it in that direction based on how he plays next season. I think there's been it was a little early and how tough people have been on Keegan. Next season is the season where if he doesn't show up, I wouldn't be able to defend him the way that I've defended him in the past.
To the DeMar point you made, I don't know if you saw this, but last night, end of the game, one of the Kings' final possessions, they're inbounding. They have a 2-possession lead, I think it is. Max is inbounding, and he throws a really bad pass into the backcourt. And it almost gets stolen, and Carter tracks it down and gets fouled, and he makes free throws, and they win. But DeMar DeRozan went over to talk to Max. Then he went over to tell Doug Christie what he said. That's a veteran being a good veteran. But it almost seems like DeMar and Russ, and this is no one's told me anything, and just watching it, it seems like, oh, those guys are acting like they're going to be around next year.
Yeah.
They seem like they're a part of the whole thing. They seem like they've embraced it. I don't know, but it doesn't look like two veterans that are counting the minutes till they're out of here.
Checked out or
yeah.
whatever. I just don't know where they're going to find all this playing time for everyone. That's what I'm struggling with. If you bring them both back, you still have DeAndre Hunter, who we haven't ever seen. And then you got to bring back Keegan. There's not enough minutes to go around.
I would not be surprised. And again, I'm not suggesting that anything is. I don't have people with the team telling me things. I know this has been kicked around a lot. I wouldn't be shocked if they looked into moving Keegan if that's what it took to get back into another pick in the first round. It hinges on a lot of things. He was not one of Scott Perry's picks. That may not matter at all, but sometimes that matters. When you're trying to build a team in your image, it's like, all right, there's a lot of building blocks in this draft. That guy, nice player, but not my pick. If I had to part with him to get back in, it wouldn't shock me. I don't know. That's not a prediction. It wouldn't shock me.
Right. Now you would have gotten rid of, at that point, 2 of the best defenders that you had on the team, in Keon and Keegan Murray.
That's true.
So that would go against, I know the defense isn't a pillar.
Defense is not a pillar, Alan.
It feels like it would kind of be going against what they're trying to build.
Professional, accountable, competitive, tough, team-oriented, and disciplined.
Defensive-oriented.
Yes. No, that is not a pillar. That's not one of your pillars.
What pick do you think it would even take?
I don't know, because, I'm already so far over my skis on that. We don't even know if that's what they're looking at.
Right.
But certainly I would think if they could, as much as they appear to like this draft, if they could get top 10, top 12 possibility, I think they would look at it. I just think it'd be really hard to get that.
Yeah.
I think most teams would say, he's a really nice player, but man, have you seen this draft?
Yeah.
We'd rather draft too.
Plus, he hadn't been available a lot.
No, he hasn't.
Right. We're getting to the point where you got to start to talk about that. Like we talk about Anthony, and I know this is different, but you talk about the Anthony Davises of the world and, all these other people Zion and everything else. Keegan's barking up that tree too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Next season is huge. It's huge. I don't know. If it's in the 20s, I don't think I would do it, Whitey. I think I would want to give Keegan, and I might regret this. I don't know. But I would want to give Keegan another opportunity just to see. If it's in the 20s, if we're talking about a pick in the teens, then let's talk. But
doesn't matter who's available. Like, if you have your eye on someone, it's like, I love this person. We worked them out.
It's tough, man. Like, Whitey, for example, Kareem Lopez, who you just said declared. If it's Kareem Lopez, do I think he'll be better than Keegan? I might just take the chance, right?
You said the money, too.
I guess it just depends on how good do you think Keegan Murray is going to be.
Yeah. I would not do that, but I understand what you're talking about. I think that's the type of thing they would at least have to consider. He's probably Kareem Lopez is probably not going to be picked high enough for the Kings to consider that, in my opinion. But, it all depends not on what Tankathon says or this guy's mock says. It depends on what the Kings and their scouts are saying.
Right. A lot of teams, and that's the other thing, too. These price tags, everybody is going to be interested in getting back in this draft. Because not just one, the next 2 drafts.
Ooh, I know. I'll trade back in.
Right. The next 2 drafts are not supposed to be great.
Yeah.
So, obviously.
It's like, you go to the restaurant. Ooh, let's go to the restaurant now. No one will be there. And you get there and there's a line.
Right. It's 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's lunchtime. Everybody's here.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody's going to be wanting to get back in because they know.
Was that a halfway decent Allen
Oh,
allergy?
I like that.
Okay.
Yes. Allen allergy. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. If you like someone enough, then do what you need to do. Would you rather give up, and I know it's not completely the same, but you'd be more comfortable moving on from Keegan than future draft capital to get back in?
I don't know if I would. I'm guessing that a GM who doesn't really have any stake in Keegan would be. And again, that's a guess, and I'm not trying to suggest that there's any ill will or anything like that. That's typically how GMs operate.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get to watch. I mean, he came in, paid him, and for no fault of either of their faults, didn't. Yeah. He still has not been able to assess. That's what he keeps saying, assessing the situation. He can't assess anything with Keegan.
Is that a thing now, as Jay says, with Keegan? You have to go, man, he gets hurt a lot.
I don't think he missed a bunch of games last season, though.
No, he was hurt a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go, and it was just a really unlucky season this season. But if he, gets dinged up next season, then I'd say, okay, that's 2 years straight now.
Yeah. Obviously, the pros, if you're looking at, do you move off of Keegan if you get something for him, or do you keep him? From the Kings standpoint, you still have a dearth of wings, NBA legitimate wings, and he is one, and you have him. And he's a good defender.
Right.
And that may not be a pillar, but it's very important to what Doug Christie wants to do. So he does fit a lot of what you say you're trying to build here.
Well, I mean, I think the reality is.
But then so did Keon.
Right. But I think the reality is you went from just having Keegan to having Keegan, Precious, and DeAndre Hunter. So I don't know. It's a wing-driven league, but I don't know if you need all three on the roster.
Yeah. I really think, too, as we look at what the Kings will decide to do, when they'll decide to, all right, let's jump back in and be competitive. I think it's another thing they have to just monitor is what are the anti-tanking measures going to be? Are they so prohibitive that it's foolish to continue doing that? They just have to wait and see. Yeah. They probably have some idea. I'm sure there are some inklings through back channels of what the league is looking at.
Yeah.
But that could derail your whole thing.
I don't think it's going to be that crazy.
I wouldn't expect so, but you have to wait and see.
Right.
I know the commissioner has said, I believe in doing things incrementally, rather than just drastically. Yeah, so it'll probably be about protections, a limit pick protections or something, or flatten the odds even further. Here's where the Kings are right now. They are fourth in the lottery standing. So they have like a 12% at first, 12% chance of picking first, 12% for second, about 12 for third, the third pick, about 12 for fourth, about 7.2% chance of fifth, 25.7% chance of getting the sixth pick, 16.7% chance of picking seventh, and then 2.2% chance of getting eighth. That's if they stay where they are. But remember, the Utah Jazz are right behind them. The Jazz, their pick is protected 1 through 8. So if the Jazz are picking fifth, if they're in the fifth spot, I should say, if they're in the fifth spot of the lottery, there is a chance they end up with the ninth pick, and they would lose the pick. So their point is they're still going to try to lose, and you have to be wary of them in your rearview mirror because they're going to try to leapfrog you and push you to fifth in the lottery standings.
Well, this won't make you feel much better, Whitey. The Utah Jazz have the sixth hardest strength of schedule left.
Yeah, so that's even, that's great. The nefarious Danny Ainge, he's going to find a way to lose these games anyway, but now it's not even that hard to find ways to lose these games. They're playing good teams.
Yeah, they still got another one against OKC. They have one against the Lakers, one against the Rockets, 2 against the Nuggets as well. It's not good. Not good at all.
So if the Kings end up fifth in the lottery, then yes, just looking real quick, I know there's a lot of numbers. Then you would have 0.6% chance of picking ninth, 8.7% chance of picking eighth, and a 26.7% chance of picking seventh. That's if you're fifth in the pre-lottery standings.
Is this going worse than you thought it would? Did you think the Kings would be?
I thought they had a shot at having the best odds. I thought, they'll be bottom 3 easy.
Yeah.
That ain't looking too good right now, Alan. And some of it's by choice. Some of it is them deciding, we don't want to do that. Yeah. It's bad for the culture if we keep losing these games. So right now you're a game and a half better than Brooklyn, 2.5 better than Utah for fifth. Utah's scary. The Kings are fifth. I'm sure the company line will be, we're good. we won a lot of games. That's good for the culture. And, we'll just see where we get spit out by the lottery gods.
Yeah. The Brooklyn Nets have the second easiest schedule left, but, I mean, I don't know if that matters very much with who they're putting out there right now.
Remember the game against Oklahoma City this week where they scored 24 in the first half?
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jalen Wilson scored 15 in that game.
Yeah.
He didn't even play last night.
Right. That was what the kid reporter, he was
Yes.
saying Jalen Wilson had a team high of 15 points.
So if you score 15 points, he ain't playing.
Right. Yeah.
He's sitting.
Well, and that's what's so funny, too. It does feel like everybody is at peace with it. Remember when we were arguing with people about sitting Precious Achiuwa?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like everyone, and Daquan Plowden, it feels like everyone has just figured out where the Kings are at, and we're just not going to have these arguments anymore.
Mm-hmm. UPS Chris on the text line. I think the Kings are going for it next year, regardless of the pick or player. Don't agree with that, but we will see how it goes.
Well, I was looking at the standings just in terms of who could the Kings possibly leapfrog next season. I don't know what the Blazers' plan is, but they're going to have Dame coming back, and they got 18 point guards as well. But I could see the Clippers, depending on what happens with this tree situation, I could see the Clippers not being a huge – I know they did make some trades, but I could see the Clippers leaving. I could see the Suns leaving. But it's going to be really tough to get back in the mix, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of good teams.
Yeah. The Clippers could end up with that Pacers pick.
That's right. The Rockets, I don't know what to do with the Rockets, but we know 1 through, I don't know. I guess the Lakers lose LeBron. How does that change things? But
oh, haven't you heard? Now he's all smiles and they're contenders again.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is hunky-dory in la-la land again.
That's right.
Yeah. KD, you mentioned the Rockets. Kevin Durant, 5th place all-time scoring list, passing Michael Jordan. Is he the most disrespected great player of all time? There's so many people that look at him,
Yeah.
I guess he said, look, it's great to be in that rarefied air, that rarefied company. And some people are like, you don't belong in that company. You don't belong in the same breath as Michael Jordan.
I mean, he did it. So what do you mean? It's not
some people still hold it against him that he left OKC and joined the Warriors and won championships. Although he was the MVP in the finals 2 years. But people say, he rode Steph Curry's coattails.
I think I don't know. KD is an interesting dude, but I feel like he probably regrets that move. I just think he maybe feels they could have won just the Thunder that next season, and he'll never say it. I don't think he'll ever say it, but it changed so much for him.
Yeah.
And how he's kind of viewed. It's almost as if he's not taken seriously.
Do you remember how when he was with OKC, he won the MVP award and he gave it to his mom and he was like, man, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Warriors like, oh man, he's
right.
Kind of a jerk sometimes. Do you think he was always that way and we didn't know, or?
I just think he is just never content enough, right? I mean, think about when he was talking about Russ when he won the MVP and everyone's like, man, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And then it just, I don't know, to outdo LeBron, because the LeBron thing was different in a way, but to make a move that was more hated than LeBron going to the Heat, and I know a lot of it was the decision and things like that. I mean, it was almost impressive that KD pulled that off. And I guess the other thing is to just not really feel like he has a home. He's almost like a nomad.
Right.
Like nobody, I'll never forget when they won, there were Warriors fans calling him a snake to his face, like at the parade. He has no home.
Yeah, I really think that he thought, look, I'll go to the Warriors, I'll win a championship, and then redemption.
Yeah.
And then, instead it was like, boo!
Right.
I think that maybe on some level stunned him.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
And then Draymond saying, we don't need you, we won one without you, just can't happen.
Well, that didn't help that they did win one after
I
he left.
know.
Yeah. Great player, though.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if he's going to be recognized for how good he is.
No.
The other stuff getting too much in the way.
Yep.
When we come back, can you guess which Kings move just made a list of the 10 worst deals since last offseason? We'll tell you next, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver / handyman / wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/ pet sitter / influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry. Don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home? Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access. Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hoblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hoblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobletdodge.com.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Allen was filling it up on the pop shot.
Oh, yeah.
The lefty fadeaway. Good.
Mm-hmm. Once you get rolling, then it's just flowing.
It's probably a violation. 100 and Kyle Ledbetter has 140, something like that.
And what's the time?
It starts at 30, and then
you can get bonus time,
right?
Like Allen did. Yeah.
If you really start rocking and rolling.
So 100 and what?
I thought he said 140. You don't think so?
What? How many balls?
That's not possible. It's not possible.
He has texted us because we used to do the show. This was downstairs, and then we'd get texts from him. So I have somewhere on my phone a picture of his.
He was just probably doing his hand over the radar.
I give him credit. Did you hear Dave today? Dave was like, I saw him do it. I was so mad.
He saw him do the 114 or the 140?
He saw him do something today. He said he made his first 25 shots. I was so mad. Just give the young man credit.
Dave's in on it, too.
He's one of the premier basketball influencers and players in Sacramento, Kyle Ledbetter.
Well, they'll have that on What is it? ESPN, the Ocho. They'll have, the 2025 Pop-A-Shot Championship. So Kyle should do that.
I have to think at that level, if you miss one shot, it's like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably have to make 80 shots in a row or something. I missed a shot. Yeah, you're done.
I'm trying to figure out how to try out for that. I'm trying to get in there. Yeah.
Well, I think first thing you do is hire Kyle Ledbetter to be your coach, right?
Kyle's going to do it himself.
He probably would. So that's the second thing is convince him not to compete against you.
Yeah.
Because you can't compete with him.
No, you can't. You can't. Especially when he's doing, East Bay windmill dunks.
So you don't think it's legit, the numbers he's putting up?
140?
Well, I have to check. I know he sent it to you. It's over 100. Well over 100.
I'll try it again. I can see 100, but 140. Because I just got to 50-something, and I wasn't even trying.
Yeah, and you had started late, too, because it was on, and you didn't even know it was going, so that's not.
We can get 140. Fine. I'll do it. I'll get there. This is why we can't have this thing in here, man.
Yeah, that is another reason why, yeah. I know. I know we were going to talk about the 10 worst deals since last offseason, and I didn't look it up because I was playing Pop-A-Shot. But number 6 on the list, Sacramento Kings trade for Dario Saric to add Dennis Schroeder via sign and trade, according to ESPN. The 6th worst deal made in the league since last offseason.
It's hard to argue it, right? Since last offseason?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that's what everyone around here says. Like, that was a terrible deal, and they really blew it by getting Schroeder and paying him all that money. They got something for Schroeder, and I know they also had to throw in Keon Ellis. But I'm not sure. Was it really that egregious of a deal? I think that might have been part of the plan all along. And maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I know it wasn't a great deal, and I know you had Dennis Schroeder last week publicly saying, hey, they told me one thing and they went another way, and that's a bad look. But I don't know if you were going to be able to keep Valanciunas. That's another part of it. You traded Valanciunas away.
Yeah.
But, there was talk that he wanted to go back to Europe. Maybe he didn't want to play. Maybe you weren't going to have him here. I don't know.
Right. Well, there's a couple different ways that you could kind of bag on the deal. Valanciunas doesn't even have to be part of it, really. But I think it was a pretty bad deal, Whitey. And we've gone back and forth on this on what their actual intentions were.
Mm-hmm.
But just they compounded it. It probably wouldn't have even been on that list if they didn't sign Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. By the way, a former Sacramento King has just signed a 10-day contract with the Raptors. Do you know who?
Oh, I just saw this, but who is it?
Markelle Fultz.
That's right.
Markelle Fultz. He was in 21 games for the Kings last year. He spent time this season with the Raptors 905 G League team, and he signed a 10-day with the Raptors, who, by the way, well, not them, but speaking of 10 days, your guy Grant Nelson, he had a 10-day with the Nets, and they did not offer him a second one, apparently.
Do we know that?
Well, he's not on the team, so I mean, how many?
Maybe he's
weighing it.
Yeah,
they offered him the second. Was like, how much time do I have?
Maybe he's still trying to figure out his options. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Look, don't worry, Whitey, because I have way more draft darlings this go round.
Oh, I'm sure you do,
and we're gonna hit on all of them.
Here is this is according to Zach Cram, the 10 best moves since last offseason. Knicks trade for Jose Alvarado is 10. Warriors signed DeAnthony Melton is 9. Spurs signed Luke Cornett is 8. Nuggets signed Tim Hardaway Jr. 7. Suns trade for Dylan Brooks is 6. Heat trade for Norman Powell 5. Nets trade for Michael Porter Jr. 4. Hawks add Nickeil Alexander-Walker via sign and trade is 3rd. Thunder extend A.J. Mitchell and trade for Jeremy McCain 2nd. And the best move since last offseason, the Hornets drafting Con Kneppel. But the 10 worst, Cavaliers trade for Lonzo. Magic signed Tyus Jones. A lot of people thought the Kings should sign him. I guess maybe it's good they didn't. Knicks signed Yabusele. Rockets signed Dorian Finney-Smith. Kings trade for Dario Saric to add Schroeder via sign and trade. Why it's on the list? The Kings took the wrong lessons from the famous red paperclip story which is you trade one thing and you get something more value, and you keep doing that and keep doing it. Instead of a succession of small moves that led to something great, they made a series of transactions to end up in a worse place than before. First, they traded capable backup Jonas Valanciunas for Šarić, who scored all of 5 points in 5 games this year. They used the extra financial flexibility from that deal to commit $44.4 million over 3 years to Schroeder, who didn't fit. And finally, to extricate themselves from Schroeder's contract, they bundled him with valuable role player Keon Ellis in a trade for DeAndre Hunter, who has regressed and owed $24.9 million next season. But that's the thing. We cannot fully evaluate that trade till we find out what, if anything, they get for DeAndre Hunter. And that's not the company line. I'm not drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I'm telling you, that's the way you have to evaluate this trade.
So it's incomplete. But to me, as of right now, you had to attach Keon to get off of the Dennis Schroeder contract. That's never going to sound good, unless, because I don't know what they're going to get back. Whitey, they haven't really shown us that they have the capability right now to flip someone, right? Flip or flop, that show. You sitting here saying
it's not on anymore, is it? Because they got divorced, then she had her own show and he had his own show.
Well, they're still around.
Sucked.
They're both still around.
Yeah.
Yes. But I don't know. We're just assuming. Why should I assume that they're going to be able to
get the expensive tile? Yeah, you can get the cheaper one, but it's not going to look good. Okay.
The backsplash.
Yes.
In the kitchen. We have no reason to believe that they're going to be able to flip DeAndre Hunter for value that is similar to Keon Ellis.
But okay, fair enough. But you're saying that because they couldn't trade some contracts that no one wanted. You're saying that because they couldn't trade Zach LaVine or
even
Domantas
Dennis Schroeder.
Sabonis.
They had to attach Keon. If it was Dennis Schroeder for DeAndre Hunter straight up, we're having a completely different conversation.
Mm-hmm. Is there any hope? Given the state of the franchise, the Kings' best hope to salvage something from the sequence is that Hunter finally fulfills his 3-and-D potential in a sustained way next season, and they can trade him for picks at the 26-27 deadline.
Okay. They can.
All I'm saying is withhold judgment, reserve judgment on that whole thing until we see what, if anything, they can get for DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, it just seems like they're kind of running the option route right now, where it's, we might be able to flip him for picks, but also let's see how he looks with Keegan. Well, which is it? That I just don't know that they know, to be honest with you.
Yeah. When we come back, why is everybody crazy about this guy, and why am I the only one that can see his biggest flaw? Next on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home? Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome. Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
On America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision making, expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship. We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Nova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. And Nova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Nova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Alan's been busy on the Papa Shot. Looked like, it's kind of hot and cold. Kind of a streaky pop shot shooter, which is not the way to put up the highest numbers.
I mean, I can see 100, but 140.
Yeah, I just looked up a text that you and I both got from Kyle Ledbetter February 12th. New record. And there's only the 4 and the 6 because it doesn't go up that high, but that's 146.
That's a lot.
The scoreboard doesn't go over 100, I guess. So he has 46 on here, but it's 146. Yeah. And Alan did what?
80.
There you
80
go.
then 70.
Look at that.
So wait, after it gets to 99, just converts back over to a regular number.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 digits.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show
Maybe
you.
it's 246. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
350. Wow.
And it starts with 30 seconds, but you can build upon, add more time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how you get more time. Just obviously the more
you gotta hit.
Yeah, the more you score. Yeah.
You gotta hit.
Yeah.
Early and often. And I did not.
Mm-hmm. I asked Alan if he had been a bricklayer at any point as a summer job.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think he understood what I was saying.
No, I did.
No, I've never.
Masonry, using masonry.
He said, no, I didn't. I never did that.
I was in the middle of the round, so I couldn't pay attention to you.
Why is everybody going crazy now over Darius Acuff? You've even got your friend Matt George, your friend and mine, Matt George.
Yeah.
Saying the Kings, based on what he's hearing from his sources, Kings are very high on Darius Acuff.
Everyone loves, a heliocentric guard during March Madness. There's always somebody, right? Now, we don't know what's going to happen with Walter Clayton Jr., but he was the guy, and I know he didn't go as high as Darius Acuff is supposed to go, but that was the guy everybody was in love with last March Madness. Every year there's someone. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't.
I know Coach Calipari was at the Kings game yesterday. It's funny, they played yesterday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Saturday, I was talking to a Kings season ticket holder. Tell me, we've been season ticket holder for many years. I said, you going to the game tomorrow? He goes, they're not home tomorrow. I said, yeah. He said, no, they're in Brooklyn. I said, no, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe we gave those tickets away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
it was an odd start time.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that 3 p.m. kind of threw people off, and then they do go to Brooklyn next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. A week after. And that game also starts at 3.
Right.
Yeah.
That one makes a little bit more sense.
But anyway, Coach Calipari was there yesterday celebrating, along with everybody else, Lampson's birthday. I heard that, Dinger was there with all the mascots. I heard Dinger got the second loudest round of applause.
People
of
love
all
Dinger.
the mascots.
People love Dinger.
Yeah, which tells me it's going to be a big year at Sutter Health Park.
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
People are behind the A's.
Oh, yeah.
But Coach Calipari was there, and, that's one of the things people say about Acuff is, Coach Cal and those guards, man.
That's true. Besides, Rob Dillingham, but I know a lot of people say, well, he doesn't really count the way everybody else counts.
I mean, Coach Calipari is phenomenal. It's amazing what he's been able to do. I don't put as much stock into that per se. Like, he's a Coach Cal guard, so he's Derrick Rose.
But they've hit, though.
I know.
The batting average is pretty high.
Yeah.
So if you were trying to figure out which guard you did want, would you take that into consideration?
I would not, and maybe I should. I mean, it'd be well down on my list.
Yeah.
I'd look at the player. I'm not gonna assume anything because, this guy's, it's a Coach Cal guard. The thing is, and I know we've talked about this, he really is not a good defender. And there's, you can look it up on the internet and find some people saying, it's not that he's bad, he's just not that good. No, he's bad. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't learn to be a better defender. I don't know how much of the video you've watched. And then, this is just watching a clip that says, here's what a bad defender he is, which is different than watching him play a game. But some of the stuff is like he doesn't even know where his man is.
Right.
Which is different than a guy that gets blown by, he can't keep up with his man. No, he just doesn't care where his man is. But he can learn that.
Yes. And I think that's, better, right?
I think so.
You just draft someone and you say, hey, man, you're going to have to play defense.
But it's his offensive game that has really drawn a lot of attention, not just from the people who write blogs and the people that talk on the radio, but the professional talent evaluators are going, wow, this is legit.
Yeah, I do wonder, though, and I get it, there's offensive upside, and that's what matters the most. But I do wonder, how it would look if the Kings drafted Acuff, because you just get to a point now when we did this with Mike Brown, and they went out and said, we need to get better on defense, and then went and got Sasha, right? So I get it. Talent is what matters the most. But if they do draft Acuff, then we start thinking, okay, so the defense isn't great, right, as a team.
I thought you didn't care about defense.
I don't.
Okay.
But I'm not the one saying that.
It's not a pillar.
Right. But I'm not the one saying that we want to be better on defense. And they have Doug Christie, and that's supposed to be one of their calling cards. And we're going to pick up 94 feet and all that. And then you draft Darius Acuff. Now, maybe they feel as if, hey, if that's the talent that's available, we have to take it. But it would just give me flashbacks of the previous regime where they kept saying that they cared about something, but we didn't really know how much they actually cared about it. Because everybody has to say, oh, well, we care about defense. Okay, well, you have to say that. Do you really care about defense? Now, look, if they get the 5th pick and he's the best talent there, then
right.
do what
you can't say, no, because of all the things we said about defense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm not saying that they should.
I understand your point. I think
we woke up this morning.
Great point.
We woke up this morning to this kind of Matt report, and it just is all just, I don't know if peculiar is the right word, but it's just interesting timing for all of it.
Well, yeah, and I know you mentioned this earlier, but Mark J. Spears says that according to one anonymous GM had Acuff, 3rd? DeBansa?
Boozer was out.
Yeah, and so was Peterson. It was Caleb Wilson.
Yeah.
And Darius Acuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like I said, it looks like the people that do it for a living are going, ooh. I will say this about the Kings in defense. It's amazing how bad they are, and maybe some of that is with this roster you don't have to worry about because the guys that play the most minutes next year, it's going to look different. But, it's funny. The Nets are not a good three-point shooting team. They were 14 of 33 last night, and Katie was saying, it's something about this building. It is something about the building. It's actually the team that plays half their games in the building. They can't guard anybody.
Yeah. It does seem like a shooter's arena, though. Maybe not for the Kings.
I was going to say.
But
the
for
Kings'
other
three-point
teams,
shooting is really bad.
Yeah, for other teams, it's a shooter's arena.
Did you know last night the starters for the Kings they only shot 4 threes. And then overall, the bench came in and did a really good job. The bench was like 12 for 23 on threes. But the three-point shooting, which has become more and more important in the NBA for the Kings since the Beam team, it's gone down and down and down and down.
Yeah, they have to add more of that element. And we've talked about some of the guys that are lower in the draft, but they have to figure out the three-point situation. I mean, this is all for naught if you don't. You have to take more. You have to make more. Like, enough is enough.
Mm-hmm. So Darius Acuff is a guy to keep an eye on, and he, of course, is going to be in San Jose this weekend in the Sweet 16. Arkansas against Arizona.
It's a good one.
4-1.
That's a good one. A lot of names in that one. Braden Burries as well.
Your guy Koa Pete.
Nobody talks about him anymore, but yeah. Yeah, this is a huge. I wonder how the ratings are going to look for this March Madness. Just because this seems to be a really, really big March Madness just based on the draft situation and all of that.
Yeah, I saw something somewhere that said so far they were very good, which is, it seems like every sport now. Here you go. March Madness surges to best TV start with viewership up 5% in opening rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to. Well, you have some blue bloods in there too. Everybody likes an underdog, but you got some big schools still in there.
The tournament averaged 9.8 million for the first 3 days, according to Nielsen. That's first 4 on Tuesday and Wednesday, along with Thursday's first round. That's a weird way to measure it. 5% increase from last year. I tell you, this is a reflection of the fact that a lot of people are noticing what I'm noticing is like this year, the college game is more compelling than the NBA. And I've never said that in my life. I've never felt that way. But this year, it's unavoidable.
Yeah. Well, I think typically you just see the people that bag on college basketball. A lot of it is you just pass it around for basically the duration of the shot clock, and then you just chuck up a three. There is still a lot of that going on, but because you do have guys like Darius Acuff, does feel like there's a little bit more cooking this season. The coaches are letting their guys do more than they normally do.
Quickly in the chat, Vincent Ramirez, Acuff plays, Peterson doesn't. Greatest ability is availability. He also says Steph Curry's bet on defense, but they have others to cover it. Follow that model. Okay, yeah, Steph Curry has gotten better. I'm telling you, Acuff right now, he's a bad defender.
Well,
but
yeah,
he can learn to be a better one.
I don't know who you're covering that up with, right? On those teams, there's Draymond, but even Clay would normally guard the best guard on the other team.
Oh, yes.
You don't have that.
Yeah. CBS Sports college basketball analyst Dan Bonner has been covering the tournament in college basketball forever. We'll see what he thinks of Darius Acuff and the tournament. Dan Bonner joining us next. Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert, or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry! This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Ever notice how your floors still look dirty, even after you mop?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Swiffer Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can actually see.
I'm listening.
Unlike string mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in those hard-to-reach spots.
Like behind the toilet?
Exactly. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions, so your floors look, smell, and feel clean.
Bye-bye, dirty floors. Hello, Swiffer Power Mop.
Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
My car smells fresh, so fresh, always so fresh every day. My car smells fresh, so fresh, like I cleaned it yesterday. Got that Febreze car on the vents, living life with that just clean freshness. Febreze car, if you know, up to 40 days a cent on low. My car smells fresh, so fresh, always so fresh every day. My car smells fresh, so fresh, like I cleaned it yesterday. That's right, breathe happy Febreze, la 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 la.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Well, the place is crawling with college basketball experts. We have Jay Johnson, who doing very well in the bracket challenge, right? The station bracket competition, which they have every year.
He's right there.
Right there. And he ranks very high in a very important metric. What is it? Available points?
Yes, he has the most available points left.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Yeah, and Alan Stiles also hanging in there, right?
Yeah, we're surviving.
Uh-huh.
You know, we're not done. We would some things here or there.
I know Friday you were not in, but Thursday it seemed like you had a rough day.
Yeah, like I said, that Santa Clara game that would have really helped.
Man, how did you have Santa Clara? I mean, you were almost right. I'm not criticizing you. I'm saying
Well, I was going to take a WCC school. It just was not going to be St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost nailed it. Didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, still got Michigan rolling along. It's just a matter of the possible points. That's what it comes down to.
Did you feel like the tournament gave you a lot of what it is you expect from the tournament so far?
Yes. Definitely. I mean, a lot of moments. It's interesting. We were talking about the, I guess, surprises, but there's still a lot of, there were surprises, but all kind of big name schools. No real, like, random school this year.
Yeah.
But.
And number one, I know a lot of people said, oh, Chalky Chalkerson. This year I was suggesting, oh, yeah, but we had a number one fall yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
Nice enough to join us with more. He's been part of the tournament for 41 consecutive years now, Alan. CBS Sports college basketball analyst, the great Dan Bonner. Dan, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you guys?
We're doing fine. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. We know you've been very, very busy. Which team are you most surprised to see still playing here in the Sweet 16?
That's a really good question, and I think the team I'm most surprised, simply based on who they beat, is Iowa. I know that Texas is, they're an 11 seed and they're coming from the first four, but they were having a pretty good year until they fell apart at the end, and they're a really good team, and there's no way a program like Texas, with all their resources, they are no more Cinderella than I am. And so there's, we don't have any Cinderellas going on here.
Dan, going into the next round, the Sweet 16, who's on upset alert in your opinion? We saw Florida, number one seed, go down, but who's on upset alert, another number one that could go down?
Well, I think that Duke is vulnerable simply because they don't have all their guys. And, St. John's has played well. They won the Big East tournament. They're playing very well. They, that last game they won where the kid scored his only basket of the game, you have those kind of games in the NCAA tournament. But I would say, to my mind, the most likely would be Duke, just because they're not at full strength.
Mm-hmm. Dan Bonner, nice enough to join us. I know you don't want to be critical of coaches, and it's very difficult, and I know you've played and you've coached, but what did you think of Florida's strategy fouling when they were up 2 with, 8.9 seconds to go? It backfired. They gave up an open 3, but have you ever seen that before?
No, I haven't. But when and obviously I didn't go to the press conference and I only read about what Todd Golden said, but I thought that was a very interesting kind of, it was very creative. Let me say that. If you don't want to foul Bennett Sturts, but you foul one, and he said we wanted to foul a role player, and if they made both free throws, then we thought we would have some time, but if not, we would win in overtime. That's a very creative stratagem. There are a lot of guys out there who can't shoot free throws, and particularly if it is a role player, as he said, and you're on the line to upset a number one seed and go to the Sweet 16, that's a lot of pressure. So it didn't work. It might have worked better if they'd have guarded the guy. And then I wasn't, and not being critical again, but I wasn't. Think about this now. Iowa moved the ball up the court and scored a basket in 4.4 seconds. And Florida couldn't even get a shot off in 4.5. And so, 4.5 is enough. You dribble the ball all the way up the court, and that's what the Lee kid did. And I thought his mistake was he tried to pass the ball. If you're going to go that close to the basket, you got to shoot. Houck wouldn't even been able to get a shot off. His pass was thrown at his ankles, but even if it was a perfect pass, he didn't have enough time to shoot it. So, that was a very, very interesting game. I thought that all their guys were going to foul out at one point, but they just hung in there. And what they did throughout the entire game is they pressured the Florida guards. That's what Vanderbilt did to them in the SEC tournament. And as good as they are inside, the guards were pressured. And even though Lead played well, I don't think Tignolu scored any points at all. And so it was a very odd game. And I think you got to tip your hat to Iowa, who had a really good plan and executed it very well.
Dan, everybody knows about the AJ DeBances of the world, and Darius Acuff is the kind of hot player right now. Who are some of your favorite players that are left in the tournament?
Well, I think, one of the teams that's left that really interests me is that Illinois team. They have, they're like the Balkans. They've got all those guys who, and that's what Brad Underwood says. He loves those guys because they come in with a whole different mindset. And so I don't know that there's, we all know about, the kid, the freshman from Houston, and, Braden Smith, and, everybody knows who Bennett Sturtz is now. And, it's like LeBaron Philon. He's no secret to anybody. So I'm not sure that there's any particular player who stands out to me, but I am really curious about that Illinois-Houston matchup because Illinois's got a lot of really big guys. They got a lot of really good guys. They're a 3 seed in the tournament, but maybe they haven't played up to expectations like throughout the entire year. But the matchups in this Sweet 16 are really, really juicy matchups. Don't you guys think?
Yes. Illinois-Houston, looking forward to that one.
Arkansas is playing really well, at the moment, and going up against Arizona. And I'm telling you, based on what I saw last night, I think Michigan, I didn't pick them as a number 1 seed that would go down. But I'm telling you, if Alabama shoots the ball like they did last night, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, Dan Bonner, nice enough to join us. Dan, as you probably know, the Sacramento Kings are looking like they'll have a high draft pick. And a lot of people around here have been following the top college players for many weeks. All of a sudden, it looks like Darius Acuff is rising up the draft boards. I wanted to ask you, is Darius Acuff the best point guard in the nation right now?
Oh, boy, that's a good question. He might be. He might be. He's got a little bit more ability, I think, than the Fears kid from Michigan State. I'm hard pressed to say that somebody other than the Lipsy kid from Iowa State is the best point guard in college. Now, Lipsy, I don't think is the best pro prospect, but you could convince me that Acuff is the best point guard in college basketball. I would buy that.
Okay.
Do you think, Dan, that there are any teams playing this weekend for the Sweet 16 that you didn't see coming at all?
I got to say this, certainly not Iowa and certainly not Nebraska. And Texas, again, they were in the first 4. So I'm surprised they beat Gonzaga. So I would have to say I wasn't really expecting them either. But, you look at the other matchups, obviously Illinois and Houston, they were going to be there. They're the 2 and 3 seed. Arizona, Arkansas, they're the 1 and the 4 seed. That's the way that should look. So, I guess the real surprises to me are Iowa and Nebraska and Texas. But again, there's no Cinderella here, and you can't call Tennessee a Cinderella either.
Yeah. Dan, I wanted to ask you about Kelvin Sampson. Speaking of coaching, it seems like every year he gets his team to play their best basketball. This time of year, they're doing it again. How does he manage to do that? Give the players the credit, but how does he always manage to get his team playing their best basketball when you want them playing their best basketball?
Well, if I knew the answer to that question, then maybe I would be a really good coach. I think it's he builds. Everybody calls it culture now, and that's a good word for it. In the old days, we called it a system. He recruits players that that will play for him. T.J. Otzelberger at Iowa State does the same thing. He hadn't been doing it as long or as successfully as Kelvin Sampson, but you know what you're looking for, and it's different in this day and age how you get them, but you know what you're looking for, and, you get guys who fit what you want to do. And, Kelvin Sampson's been very successful everywhere he's been, and he's a perfect example of the fact, guys, it's hard to win a game in this tournament, much less win the whole tournament. And so people say, well, he can only go so far. Well, it's hard. People like, Mike Krzyzewski made it look easy, but it's not. And so I've always been impressed with him as a coach. I think that he knows how to get the most out of his players. I think his players enjoy playing for him. I think there's a trust there. And that's the ideal thing you're looking for as a coach. And that's what everybody strives for. Everybody doesn't have the success that Calvin has, and so that's why we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan, just based on the level of talent that's out there this season, and we know that it's supposed to be a really deep draft, does it feel like college basketball this season was even more impressive than it typically is because of all the top draft picks that are running around on the different teams?
We were talking about the death of college basketball just a few years ago, about how the quality of the teams was really diluted and there weren't that many players. And I think college basketball is as good as it's been in a long, long time. And it's, what we say, if only the kids would stay longer. Well, now they are. And they are because they're getting paid, which they should have been all along. Mm-hmm. And because they're getting paid, you've got this influx of foreign players who can make more over here than they can over in Europe. So I think college basketball is really good because of all the talent that there is. And in addition to these players who are second and third and fourth year players or foreign players who are coming in, we have this fabulous freshman class. Now that may be an anomaly. You're not going to have a freshman class like this every year. But college basketball is as good as it's been in a long time.
Dan, taking nothing away from the Johnnies, but Darren Peterson has been talked about as a top pick in the draft potentially for weeks, and then right now it looks like his stock is falling. What and where did things go wrong for Kansas yesterday and this year, or maybe just were expectations too high, unrealistically high for that team?
Well, I think Kansas reminds me a lot of Kentucky in that the expectations were based on the roster that they had at the start of the season. Mm-hmm. And Peterson obviously played for them, but all the issues that he had where he couldn't play and then he could play, and it's just hard to build a team like that. Just because you have one outstanding player, if you don't know whether the guy's going to be in the lineup or out of the lineup, I just think that put a lot of pressure on that team. So with Kansas and with Kentucky both, they had a couple of guys injured who they were really counting on. Doesn't matter how much you pay the guys. If they can't play, they don't help you. Mm-hmm. So I would say the Kansas issue is expectations. But come on, guys, if you're Kansas, expectations come with the territory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dan, we talked about Darius Acuff, how he's been rising up the draft boards, and now it seems like the guy that everybody just refuses to talk about, Cam Boozer, is going in the other direction. Is there anything Cam Boozer can do at this point to kind of silence the naysayers, or is that just going to be what it is with him, the style of play that he has? People are always going to say, he's not athletic enough, he's not this, he's not that. What's your take on Cam Boozer?
Well, I think you said it correctly. It is what it is with Boozer. He's not a guy who jumps out of the gym. He's not as athletic as DeBansa. All that's true. All he does is win. And I think there's his success in the NBA, if he has success in the NBA, will depend entirely on him fitting into the right spot. I don't think Boozer is a guy you could plop down anywhere and have him be successful. But that doesn't mean he can't be really good in the NBA. And, you don't have to get drafted like in the top 3 to have a really good NBA career. But Boozer, he doesn't wow you, except he does everything. They were playing the other day and he was playing point guard, for heaven's sakes. Now he won't do that in the NBA. But I think he's a really good player. And I think that before all these other guys came on, then everybody's talking about Boozer, and now he's dropped off a little bit, but I don't think he's played poorly. I think he's the same guy he's been all along.
Yeah, it's funny seeing him play point guard. I thought, that must be his brother. No, that's him. He is playing point guard. Dan, we'll let you go on this one. We appreciate your time. But I don't know if you're filling out a bracket, how your bracket's looking, but from here, if you had to pick a team that you think is most likely to win the whole thing, which way are you going?
I would say Arizona. Mm-hmm. Arizona, they have all the elements. Now, they are a team that, that unlike a lot of college teams, they don't have put an overemphasis on three-point shooting. They beat you up inside, but they've got size, they've got the talent, and they've had a really, really good year. So if I had to pick one team right now that seems to me to have the fewest warts or injury problems or stuff, it would be Arizona.
All right, Dan. Thank you very much for your insight. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the tournament. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great point. College basketball is in a great shape, a great spot right now. It's in great shape. And I think one of the reasons is because of the NIL. Everyone complains, and I know I complain. NIL's ruining everything. It's not the same. But as Dan Bellner said, you've got more players staying in college longer, basketball players staying at their schools longer, and it actually is elevating the quality of play, and the product is better.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it like that, but I mean, it does make a lot of sense. And we've gone back and forth about the one and dones, or should you just be able to go straight out of high school? And then there was the G League Ignite thing, but it feels like they're in a pretty good spot right now, all things considered.
Yeah, and as he said, players are getting paid now. Well, they should have been getting paid all along.
Yes, completely agree on that one. I do wonder though, how if this is still an up year, right? Just because of the draft conversation and everybody that's available. So college basketball is in a better spot, but I don't know that it'll always look like this.
Right.
Even though a lot of those guys are not even in the league anymore, or not even in the tournament anymore. So
what'd you think of his views on Acuff? He was a little like, well, I guess you could convince me he's the best point guard in the nation right now. Sure, I'll go with that.
See, it's happening too fast. It's all happening way too fast. That's my problem.
I think he hit the nail on the head as far as Darren Peterson goes. I think Darren Peterson, I don't know how his teammates feel about him. Maybe they do. They said glowing things about him after the game. But just the fact that he wasn't there so much, and they had to learn to play without him, and they were never sure when he was going to be there, that when it came to their biggest games of the year, there was just a disconnect there.
Yeah, and that was, and it's so...
And they still almost won.
Right. It's so crazy how things went just left for Kansas after they beat BYU. That was when Darren Peters, we came in on Monday, and everybody was talking about Darren Peters.
Yeah.
It was a foregone
That was a game where he hardly played in the second half, or didn't play in the second half?
I believe so.
So I remember I was in the Bay Area and turned that on. I was like, oh, how's he? Oh, he's not playing. Why isn't he playing? Oh, 28 in the first half, whatever, but he's not playing. Well, that's weird.
Yeah. And then everything after that just went left for him. And
I remember, excuse me, but to the point you just made, I remember after that saying, I think DeBanza might slide a little bit. Peterson's going to be number one, but I think DeBanza might slide a little bit.
Right. And the exact opposite happened. Because I was right there with you, because they were throwing a bunch of bodies at DeBanza. So it wasn't necessarily, I didn't think he was good or anything like that, but the conversation just turned into, man, this is going to be really hard for DeBanza to put up those types of numbers. And then he did. And Peterson went the opposite direction there.
By the way, we have a Kings medical update here. Killian Hayes underwent an MRI imaging on his left foot after he left the game last night in the second quarter. Inflammation in the left toe, day-to-day. Neat Clifford, MRI imaging on his left foot. Let's see, mild mid-foot sprain. So Clifford will be listed as out and will be reevaluated in approximately 1 week.
Man, just limping to the end of this season.
And did you see that Trae Young is out? He has a sore back. MRI imaging revealed an irritation in his lower back. So he's out for the year. If guys in the NBA were out for the year because of an irritation in the lower back, you'd have nobody in the league.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have anybody.
What did he play, 3 games with them?
Something like that.
Yeah. I think they got a call.
Yeah.
Said, hey, you have to play one of the, and obviously AD is out for the season.
In fact, Jay.
Just here, though, so you don't get fined.
Yeah. Jay, Allen, I got some irritation. In the
too
lower
late
back.
now.
I might not be in tomorrow.
Low inflammation?
Yeah. I'll be reevaluated in a week, but
it's too late now.
I had an MRI and it said, yes, there's some irritation there. So it's confirmed.
I think we all have a little bit of irritation.
Yeah. By the way, halftime, the Pacers are losing. Magic leading the Pacers 64-59. So the Pacers appear to have that top spot in the lottery. Well, I was going to say it's locked up, but Washington's only a game behind them. Brooklyn 2 behind them, and Sacramento now 3.5 out of worst place.
But they did it the right way.
Hope the Pacers get like the 8th pick.
That's what I'm saying.
I just hope if they get the 5th pick, Jay, they lose it.
I know.
Just the 5th pick. Give them the 5th pick. Yeah. Bye-bye.
You know, I was talking about teams that might be leaving the conversation if the Kings were to figure things out next season. Am I sleeping on the Clippers? Right? You get Benedict Mathurin. You get Darius Garland.
They've
still have
done a
Kawhi.
sneaky good job of kind of bringing in some young talent.
And then if they get that 5th pick from Indiana, I mean, the hybrid rebuild, I want to do it, don't get me wrong, but there's just not a lot of wiggle room out there, Whitey.
Right. Well, it looks like they might have be doing the hybrid rebuild.
They are. Well, they are.
Yeah.
And if they get that 5th pick, knowing them, they might even try to flip it or something.
But then what does the commissioner do if he's trying to crack down at some point on the Clippers for, as you called it, the tree thing?
Yeah, the tree thing. Well, they keep bringing it up, but I don't know if anything's actually going to happen.
We're finding you, and we're finding Kawhi.
Right.
And then everything else can play on.
Because
but we'll also give you the 1st pick.
Right. Or, Kawhi might be that contract might get canceled or something, and then he could get picked up by somebody. So I don't know what to think.
Do you think any of the conspiracy theorists will have anything to say if the Clippers end up with the 1st pick?
That wouldn't be good. That would not be good. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I don't know. There is a way.
Yeah.
There's a 14% chance.
Man. Yeah, that would be tough. That would be tough. But I'm with you, Jay, on Indiana. They don't deserve it.
No, we'll find out about the basketball gods and, boy, it's bad karma, and but you just can't mess with that. We'll find out.
Yeah. If the Kings got 7 or 8, do you think moving forward, do you think fans would say, you know what, we might as well tank next year? Even though it's not going to be as good as this season.
But I'm telling you, no. Fans are ready. Fans are like, we did our thing. We went through a year of this. We're ready. We got our guy. We got
Nate Ament at 8.
I was going to ask you to pick a guy. I was hoping you wouldn't pick him. We got our guy. Let's see. I just did the mock. They got AJ.
There you go.
Now, can we agree if they do get AJ DeBonsa that people are going to be saying, all right, here we go. The tank is over. The tank is over.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out who they're going to leapfrog, though. That's my issue. The tank can be over. The intentional or whatever type of tank you want to say could be over, but who are you leapfrogging?
I have to be consistent on this. As far as the tanking, I know we like to look at the teams that are tanking hard and saying, that's terrible what they're doing. I don't think it's terrible what they're doing. I don't think it'd be terrible if the Kings did it. Maybe the Kings will do it some more. Maybe they're done with it. It's not terrible. They're forced into it by the terrible NBA system.
Yeah.
You could argue the Kings probably should have been better at it. I don't know. Bless them for playing it the way they're playing it, and we'll see. But you can't blame teams for looking at the way it's set up and going, we're going to lose games, and that gives us our best chance to be good. Because they all want to be good.
That's the whole
eventually.
Point. That's the whole point.
Yes.
How else are you supposed to acquire talent?
Right.
And then you make a trade. You trade Halliburton. He ends up being ridiculous. And now everybody gets on the Kings for making that trade. So what do you want them to do exactly? How are they supposed to get better?
Yeah, I agree. From the 5-3-0, if we're doing the hybrid rebuild, they're not making any moves until the trade deadline next season unless they get a deal that blows their socks off this summer.
I don't think, and I think that's correct. I don't think they're going to get a deal that knocks their socks off. If the only thing that we had to, out of everything we hear these days, right, there are rumblings and mumblings and whispers, all that. All we heard about Domantas Sabonis was a little something about the Wizards before they got Anthony Davis and the Raptors. That's it. So
the Raptors are legit now. They got Markelle Fultz.
Well, 10-day. So I just don't know what the appetite is for any of these contracts.
When we come back, the Kings are not built for the heavy heavy tank. And how unwatchable are these Kings? I think all things considered, it's a pretty watchable team. We're back with that and more. Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at PepsiPromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Just witnessed one of the saddest things I've ever witnessed as a basketball fan. Jay started going here in the Papa Shop, and he was on fire. Boom, boom, boom. And then he cramped up.
Yep.
With Darren Peterson's style.
And then it's just hard for him to get the ball in the basket, you know?
Start laughing.
Yeah.
That was my cramping. I started laughing.
Darren Peterson's freshman year at Kansas is all over. Disappointment, I'm sure, for him, for fans, for college basketball fans.
Yeah.
Although, for some reason, there's a lot of resentment towards him, which I don't completely understand.
I understand why his, I guess, narrative would annoy people. People really don't like when they feel as if you're not a hard worker.
If they feel like you act as if you're entitled.
Yes. Yeah, and there was just so much that we didn't know that the whole thing kind of just took off. And Whitey, it's funny how you're bringing up Darren Peterson, because speaking of taking off, now Matt and his Darius Acuff take, I checked Facebook. Now it's on Twitter, Facebook, it's everywhere, and it's already getting kind of misconstrued to where I just quickly read a comment and somebody said, why not AJ DeBanza? So now this whole thing, and now we're here, right?
Yeah.
Now we're here. But people are not, again, I don't know if they're listening to it properly, but people are not happy with the idea of Darius Acuff from what I've read.
Well, again, it depends on the context. It's like, oh, we really like him. If we are picking 6th or 7th, we'd look at him.
Right.
Yeah. But if people thinking, they're going to pick him first, they're idiots.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that that's what they're thinking.
No, but Matt, basically how I understood it was that he's been just, talking, having conversations, and that is the name that got brought up along with AJ DeBanza. So then you just wonder, well, what do they think of Cam Boozer? Or why did it turn into Darius Acuff so quickly?
On the text line here from Wisconsin, Craig in Wisconsin. Appreciate your views, Craig. I'm going to push back on a little bit, but on the other hand, it's, if that's how you feel, it's how you feel. No one can say you're wrong. Guys, looking at this team, they have to be the most unlikable watch ever in Kings uniform. So for me, I would rather watch a mediocre team of new players next year than watch the same old garbage, even if they are successful. What do you think? Craig in Wisconsin. I understand where you're coming from, Craig. And, by some measures, this has been, it's certainly been one of the worst seasons in Kings history in terms of the victories. But I can think of some years where you knew they weren't very good, and there was talk about them maybe moving and getting a new arena that were just more dreary. To me this year, and it's been awful, but there's been here and there have been interesting things, like what's going on with the veterans, what's going on at the deadline. Hey, they got DeAndre Hunter. I know he didn't play, but the young players. To me, this is, considering that they only have 19 wins, I think I can think of many more years where the Kings were less likable and in some ways less watchable.
Well,
but I understand your point, and I don't think anyone would really argue with you too much on that.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends if you still feel like you're getting something from watching the young guys. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If you feel as if, you know what, I've seen Maxime Reynaud beat up on some bad teams. I've seen him play pretty well against good teams. I don't have anything else to take from it, then I get it. But I wouldn't say, unlikable watch. I wouldn't say that. I think early on, when it was a lot of the vets, maybe we could have that conversation and we were arguing about Keon getting time and who's not playing, who is playing. But ever since they've, some guys have been out for the year and there's been some more opportunity. Yeah, I wouldn't say unlikable. It's just, what else are we getting from them at this point?
I think a lot of fans, and I believe I've witnessed this, a lot of fans are looking for something to latch onto with these Kings and something to get excited about. And I think some fans are finding some things. I mentioned that I was at Airman's store on Saturday, and they had Dylan Cardwell out there, and he did a signing, and he was very nice. And there was a lot of people there, and they really were responding to him. Here's a guy that's a guy coming off the bench for a team that's won 19 games. But people then, they were excited.
Yeah.
Because he's a symbol of something better that people are believing in.
Well, think about it like this. You add, last season they had Devin Carter, who was hurt a lot, right, and didn't get to play too much. So it feels like it's been a while since the Kings have had younger players to watch develop. So I think that's the biggest difference between other years when you don't have somebody. Because last season, you make that trade for De'Aaron, but you trade for Zach LaVine. Devin Carter didn't really play. So, again, you didn't really have any young talent to, I guess, just watch grow throughout the season.
Because what was it? Devin Carter and then no first-round pick, right? They didn't have one, I don't think.
And then Keegan.
Excuse me. I meant Keegan, then nobody, then Devin Carter. Yeah. And then, look at this year. So,
right. So, That's the biggest difference. But I could understand why someone this many games in is over it as well. But I just think the younger players are easily saving this season.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's time for, guess what? Go ahead and guess.
Time to check in.
It's time to check it with TC. What's up, TC? How you doing?
Yes, sir, man. Hey, listen, Whitey, Allen, what's up with my two guys, man? What's going on?
What's up, man?
Hey, listen, I'm tapping in. So, listen, it's a dynamic wing. So, if it's not AJ, right, and like a top 4, I mean, if we don't get the number 1 pick or whatever, it's AJ. That's our dynamic wing. Or if it ain't, that's Cam Boozer or even Caleb Wilson, because that's still that stretch 4 wing we're talking about. But other than that, after that, if we fall 5, 6, 7 or whatever it is, the next thing is A-Cup. What are we talking about? That's a franchise-moving point guard, right? That's what we need, right? We're looking for a dynamic wing or a dynamic point guard, a franchise-moving piece. And that's what A-Cup is, bro. So if we fall in, if that's what we had at 4 and we slip to 5 and the top 4 guys are gone, bro, that's the next thing smoking, bro. A-Cup.
Can't lose.
That's the move going and out.
Right?
What?
You can't lose. If those are your choices, there's no bad decision there.
Come on, Whitey. Listen, Allen, every Kings fans, let's lose our head. We overthinking the situation. We ain't talking about Darren Peterson, right? Listen, we talking about a franchise-moving piece, a point guard, and A-Cup, bro. If we don't get AJ, that's the move, y'all. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, TC. He's excited. See, there's a fan.
No Kingston Flemings, huh?
Hey, we'll see.
Nobody's talking about him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
What happened is Darius Acuff happened.
Yeah. Him and his mid-ranges.
Yeah. Kingston, and that team's a really good team and very, very well coached. I mean, we still may be talking about him. Next week, this time, we may be talking a lot about him. We'll see.
Well, I mean, he has obviously an opportunity, right, to get back. I wouldn't say get back on everyone's draft board because he didn't go anywhere. But right now, it's just the style of play as well. Everybody's going to like how Darius Acuff plays.
Mm-hmm. Dynamic scorer.
Yeah.
And people just, you have a big game in a big situation, and people are like, that's the guy. That's what I want.
Yep.
I want a guy who's fearless and who's better than the other team when the game is at its most crucial points. That's what people want.
Well, and that's the same thing, right, with Darren Peterson. People didn't see that dog.
Right.
And obviously I think
he's a dog.
I think LeBaron is another guy.
Thank you.
LeBaron's another guy. I think the way he plays, people are going to gravitate to that. People like they like a bravado with their guys.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but certain guys can get away with it.
By the way,
go ahead.
Darren Peterson yesterday, there's 20-something seconds left. They're down 2. They've had to come from 14 behind to make it a game against St. John's. They run a play for Darren Peterson. He drives to the baseline, head fake, pump fake, and he gets fouled, and he knocks down 2 free throws to tie the game. Isn't that anything? Doesn't that count for something?
It's not Acuff. He's old news now.
You know what I'm saying, though?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I'm not saying he should be the most valuable player of the tournament or anything, but that's not nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we'll know more after this weekend, but I'm really starting to look at this and think, is Darren Peterson actually going to drop? Like, seriously?
Oh, I think he's seriously going to drop because he was a consensus number 1. I don't think he's going to be number 1. Do you? I've been leading that parade, and I was like, I wouldn't pick a number 1.
No, I don't think so. There's no world where you're looking at fit, right? I know we had talked about this for all the teams that are in the hunt for number 1, but let's say, if the Pacers get the number 1 pick, is there any world where they say, well,
that's some people saying Boozer
makes more sense, but you have to take whoever you think is the best player.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll tackle that when we come back. Also, 3 days until opening day. We'll examine that on Sactown Sports and wrap things up.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers!
Every game on your number 1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money. A lot. And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Business moves fast, and so do we. At Bank of Marin, we team up with businesses in the greater Sacramento area to help you drive the lane and score big. With dedicated relationship bankers and local decision making, we help you move quickly, whether you're upgrading equipment, buying your next building, streamlining cash flow, or fueling growth. From expansion to investment, we're ready to help you win. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver, /handyman, /wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/pet sitter, /influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry. Don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
It's weird when you get a stalker. I'll never forget, I met her. She was outside, and she's a stalker, so, not hot. That's just what you picture when you picture a stalker. If they were hot, they wouldn't be a stalker. They'd be my girlfriend.
From Saturday Night Live, his Netflix specials, and Peacock's Bupkis, Pete Davidson, live, Friday, April 10th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Pete Davidson, live.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
3 days until opening day. By the way, there's an interesting piece at SF Gate about how the second season of A's baseball in Sacramento looks worse than the first. I have to think that, I know you have many Bay Area connections, Alan. I have to think that that's kind of pandering to the fans there who, and I understand, are upset that the A's left Oakland. So it's kind of like, well, let's just give them something to tell them how terrible things are.
Yeah.
With us Sacramento A's.
I don't know how much of a fight there will still be going into next season. I just think it's just tiring for everyone.
Well, the gist of this piece is that, very few Sacramento media even covered the A's in spring training.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're saying, so nobody in Sacramento cares.
Yes.
Therefore, it's a disaster.
Right. And then you have, I think I saw Sean Cunningham respond and say, we were out there. And then Brandon Benitez said, well, we were out there too.
Jake was there.
Jake was there. So I don't
just
really
say
know.
Sacramento media, that's not what it's about. Just don't take the bait. I mean, bless you for sticking up for yourself, but just don't worry about it.
But how do you get that wrong? How do you just say, nobody was there?
Because you're trying to find something, like I said, a pander to disgruntled Oakland A's fans. Which, again, I understand why Oakland A's fans are disgruntled.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Well, it's making the rounds now.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, Alan.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
What's the vibe going to be like at Sutter Health Park? What do you think?
Fun. Everybody has a good time there. It just doesn't feel like an A's game. Everyone has fun, and you get to sit up close and personal with
intimate setting.
The most intimate setting in baseball, but it doesn't feel like the A's are in their home ballpark because they're not. It's still good. It's still a good time out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like you're at an A's game.
It is Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It just feels like you're like March Madness right now. You're playing at just a random place, and all right, cool. This is closer for this team than the other team, so there's more of these fans, but it doesn't feel like a home game.
I think last year part of the problem was the demand for those tickets was misjudged by an organization that charged for, just the ticket prices were so high, and then people go out there and you realize, okay, that's a good team. They're playing a good team. This is not a major league experience, and it's nobody's fault. It's just not. So why am I paying major league prices for something that this is not a major league facility? And it sounds like maybe people have put their heads together and realized, all right, we can't really package it that way because it's just not that.
No, it feels like spring training to me.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It feels like a spring trainer.
Yeah, except the games do count.
Yeah, but they do count. But, even just the behind Sutter Health where you have, the lawn and everything, it just feels like a spring training game.
Yeah. I am really anxious to see what will happen as far as the vibe if the team is better, which they probably will be. It's baseball. You never know. But if you have meaningful games, is that going to change? Or, are people going to start going out there with a different frame of mind?
Yeah.
We'll see. It's possible.
I think it's very possible, but it's got to happen first,
Of course.
But to me, I think Sacramentans are just in a weird spot now because now we're having this conversation about the expansion team. So this whole finders keepers thing is not really it anymore. That was the big thing last season, Whitey. Well, the A's could just stay here and they're not going to get anything built in Vegas. Well, they are now. So I do wonder if that theory or facade or whatever you want to call it, with that being gone now, how much of that was fueling even last season. And I know we went back and forth with what was it? Attendance gate, but now that
you loved that.
Oh, I can't 3 days until attendance gate. I can't wait. But I do wonder with that seemingly off the table now, could more fans be turned off from the A's? Because there's no more finders keepers thing.
By the way, Buster only supposed to be on, is it Wednesday, Jay?
Yeah, I got to confirm. Hoping to lock him down for Wednesday.
Okay, so Buster will be on, and we asked him to come on because he's the one who apparently on his podcast last week said someone in the know told him that Oakland has a shot at an expansion team, which obviously would have major ramifications for Sacramento fans any number of ways.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. But yeah, if the A's are competitive this year, which they very well could be, it'll be interesting to see, obviously, what the mood is. I do think if you ask people that really know baseball, as we did last year, Jay, with I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, the A's are probably like a year or two away still. They're close, and they might compete this year. It's a matter of when the young pitching, which is still in the minor leagues, comes through. But they're set up to be a pretty good team here in the next few years.
Yeah, they're going to hit the baseball.
Yeah.
They are going to hit the baseball. Are they going to be able to pitch the baseball? That's what we don't know. But it's going to be a lot of fun because, the scores even last season were pretty insane. There were some high-scoring games out there, and I think, everybody likes the long ball, so that'll help.
That was the other thing. They got off to such a rocky start. Everything was new, and no one knew what was going to happen. Didn't they lose 18-3 in the opener or something like that to the Cubs?
And everyone's saying, see, this is what you get.
Yes.
And then, when you get ejected and you have to walk out and everyone's saying, look at this. I don't know. Everybody wanted something to complain about last season.
Didn't one of the golf carts, they were escorting somebody through the gate in the fence because they got hurt or something, and then the cart ran out of gas or something.
I mean,
a lot of things like that.
A lot of random things last year.
Yeah. And so many people were looking for any little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith Law?
What's that?
Was it Keith Law that told us
it was
Keith Law, right? Yeah.
He said they're really good. They might be good next year, but it's happening with that organization.
And then there was, we had attendance gate, then we had weather gate. It's going to be too hot to play there.
And it wasn't. This year might be a different story.
Yeah. Also, turf gate. Are they going to have turf or not turf? Oh, I'll never forget last year. Just all of it.
That was all resolved before the season started.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember that the commissioner said there was going to be a special kind of artificial turf that was like self-cooling?
Yes. Yeah, that
didn't happen.
No. And then it was get off the grass.
Yeah, and then there was stories of St. Louis in 1984. It melted somebody's shoes.
Right. And then, everybody then kept comparing
Willie McGee's shoes melted.
Yeah. Well, if kids are playing baseball in Sacramento, why can't the pros? Weathergate.
Mm-hmm. You must know this. You have a Giants podcast. They had to reschedule some of the spring training games because it was too hot.
Yeah. They had to move them later in the evening.
3 days until opening day. So what do you think of these guys that wear or have worn the number 3? For you, Ellen, Luis Ariz.
Oh, yeah.
Ketel Marte. George Springer. A-Rod. Dale Murphy. Alan Trammell. Harmon Killebrew. And George Herman Babe Ruth, who originally wore number 3. Why? Why, Alan? Why? Because he batted third in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got the number 3. Lou Gehrig was number 4, and so on.
Huh.
So I guess they didn't do a lot of platooning or
No lefty righty matchup.
It's like, I bat third.
Yeah.
Okay, you're number 3 then.
I've missed those days, though.
Do you?
Yeah. Not all this, we have 2 different lineups for a lefty and a righty. Just let the boys play.
Did it bother you the year the Giants won 107 games?
No, but that was also kind of fluky. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They had that season, they had the most pinch hit home runs like in franchise history or something that that is not scalable at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like the clock is going to strike midnight pretty soon here, and it did.
If you take the steroids out of it, how good was A-Rod? I mean, premium position, phenomenal hitters with 700. Would have hit 700 home runs.
I mean, I think
nobody liked him. I know, but take that out as well.
Well, you were talking about Kevin Durant. Obviously, completely different reasons for why people dislike
Kevin
them.
Durant is the A-Rod of
right.
Yeah.
I mean, people, he'll probably. Neither of them will probably never be as respected as they should be based on how good they were or how good Kevin Durant is.
A-Rod, I get it because you just don't know.
Right.
But I have to think, not to send us down this rabbit hole, but I think there are a lot of players. There's certain guys that we know, he did steroids. Well, so we don't know how good they were. I think there's a ton of guys that did steroids that we'll never know about.
Yeah.
Behind the dugout at Arlington, they're playing the A's. Not Arlington. Where's the new park? Wherever the new park is. Yeah. And he comes out on deck, and I'm sitting right there. And he comes out on deck, and he's looking at the crowd, and we lock eyes. And he looks at me, and I look at him. I'm like, I'm not.
Wow. He hit a home run after that.
I don't remember what he did.
But then he didn't hit a home run after that. You won it, though.
It was the weirdest thing, but I was not going to back down.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're back with you for, I think it'll be a truncated show, will it not?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Got a shortened show tomorrow, so we get you ready for Kings basketball, but don't miss it. Whatever you do,